Man, I forgot how much not fun it is when the dragons die. Hello, welcome to the Hot Dragon postgame with Girl Nettles and Grey Waste Tim of the Isle of Faces.
Hi guys! It is so great to be back. Tim, you look awesome. Is that crochet or knitted?
Yeah, it's knitted. It's I got it off Etsy.
We're
That
starting
is
off with
pretty
the important
cool.
stuff. We
Yay!
saw the green men. We saw one. Again, another one.
I originally was just gonna go with the helm because I knew we were going with battles and I knew guys would be wearing helms like this, but then we saw a green man. I'm like, I gotta throw some antlers on in celebration.
You're kind of like the Green Knight, except for that you're not wearing green, but it works. It works. So, indeed, praise Garth. Welcome to the show. We're going
Yeah.
to get right into. We're not going to go scene by scene tediously through the episode. We are going to go for the good stuff first, and then work our way back to the tedious scene. No, I'm kidding. You get the point, though. And I do appreciate. We'll try to get these super chats as they come in. We will occasionally ignore them for a few minutes while we finish up a discussion, and then I'll come back. I can easily switch over my tab and see all the super chats. So I promise to you now, we will not leave until we have answered them all. But occasionally be patient. And we thank you for joining us. We know you have options out there. Let's just grab these right here. Praise Garth. I'm happy to see you back. We're back. Nettles, you're back. The people clamored for you. We missed you during Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
I know, but I was here. I was in the chat. I was in the chat after every episode. So yeah, if you
You
guys
were.
don't, if I'm not on screen, always look for me in the chat. I mean, I was a fan before I was on this side of things.
And we will have Estella pop in, as well as maybe occasionally a different guest on a week-to-week basis. And I know Estella Graves, of course, will be covering some, House of the Dragon as well. So
Yeah.
check out her videos. And then, of course, my compatriots here, you can subscribe to their channels in the description below if you haven't already. And with that said, yeah, the dragons didn't want this. They just want to fly and eat sheep and occasionally fight each other. Team Dragon, it always hurts more when the dragons die. Yeah, it's the worst. Jace's death was pretty sad, too, though. I would call that equally sad. I hate that I can now spot an incestuous kiss a mile away. Look, I know we didn't have a lot of parent-child incest, like really ever, except for Magor in the books. But at the same time, if you're saying that certain incest is reasonable and other incest is not reasonable, I would just ask you to consider what you're saying there. It's all incest. It's not stuff that we. It is what it is, okay? But yeah, that was a little WTF for sure. We'll talk about it. That was intense. Some major changes. Yeah, we'll talk more Oedipus Aemon. Okay, look, if you guys want to talk about it, we'll talk about it. That's fine. Why didn't they have Nettles? Because she's here. Nettles is here. She
Yeah.
can't do two things at once, and she really wanted to be here for the post-game show.
There can only be one Nettles, the real one. So
So
Yeah, it
yeah,
seems like
Storm Cloud, we didn't get it. We'll talk about the changes. I have to say, I mostly was pretty immersed in this episode. I was not. It wasn't like the first thing I want to talk about isn't. Oh, they got this wrong. Like, there's a lot of good stuff to talk about. We'll get to comparing the changes, and this is a safe space to complain as long as you do so respectfully. If you're here to just like hate watch the show, this probably won't be very satisfying. It's not what we do, but yeah. Anyways, yeah. So rest in peace, Jacaerys. Let's start there.
crazy.
The fake out. So first we get the fake out, like, oh, this is going to happen just like the books and the harpoon, and because in the books it's not exactly certain, but it's something along the lines of the dragon gets speared and tangled, and Jace drowns, and maybe he was shot. So pretty much just like what we saw, but they did the fake out where Bela comes and cuts the line, and we're like, oh God, what's going to happen now? Something different, and they kind of circled back around to the canon death of Jace and Vermax. Obviously, the Nettles, the reign of Sheepstealer. It's gonna be hard to not call her. I know it's tough.
yeah,
No.
I think seems like Nettles is gonna maybe Nettles will become an alias once Reyna has to go on the run. Once word gets out what
That
actually
better
went.
not. That
Yeah.
better not. But that's a great way to still have Nettles. Because
Yeah.
maybe the show watchers saw people complaining or talking about it too much. And so they yeah.
So
That's good, Tim.
in Fire and Blood, Sheepstealer's rider fed Sheepstealer's sheep to win them over. And in House of the Dragon, Sheepstealer fed his rider sheep to win her over. So I thought that was kind of cheeky. You know, one of the big complaints with the Nettles Rhaena swap is that they're so different in terms of class. Nettles is a nobody and Rhaena is a princess. So how's Rhaena gonna tame the wild dragon with sheep? It seemed like a dumb idea. They were smart not to try to do the same thing. They changed the plot to make it fit Rhaena, where she's basically helpless. She thinks at first she's just been stranded atop a mountain in the Eyrie. And then it turns out Sheepstealer was just going to fetch some sheep for dinner, you know?
Yeah. And so, like, because like you said, Nettles feeds him, but in this one, it's like it's all backwards. Like, well, now I got Sheepstealer's looking at Rhaena like, well, I got to take care of your ass. But you know what it reminded me of? It gives like echoes of Sansa and the Hound, and it's like because Sansa's a little bird, the Hound is like the beast, and then here it is, a literal beast, and the way he throws up a sheep, it's like literally feeding her like a baby bird. I got to feed this baby bird.
As a bird owner, I was dying because I have to tell Goose all the time, no, I'm not hungry. Thank you. I'm not. You've regurgitated some bird corn for me. Thank you. But no, I'll pass. I was doing the mental math. Tell me how many of you at home are doing the math of like when it regurgitates the sheep, it's like, oh, that's gross. I wouldn't eat that. But once the dragon roasted it, you're like, oh, it's probably fine now. It's probably good, isn't it? I'm hungry.
There's probably some dragon chimichurri like in their saliva. So like regurgitating it and then burning it, it's like chef's speak. No, the class politics are still there because like, you know, Rhaena is a rich girl. Rich girls can't cook. So in their relationships, like someone has to feed them.
Our group text was really funny during this episode. Nettles was in on this. Like, rich girls can't cook. They can't cook no mutton.
So it makes sense, you know. The dragon has to be the one to feed her, otherwise she would starve. But it's cute. They promised us that each dragon would have different personalities, like bold personalities that the audience would be able to decipher and know who's who. And like this is like a really great example of that. Like compare Vermithor. Vermithor meeting people. Vermithor not bringing you no food. Vermithor door dashes for his dates. Like he'll door dash you food. He's not bringing you no food.
That's true. That's true. You know, Sheepstealer, when he growls or roars, it kind of sounds like a burp, doesn't it? It's like, it's like very just.
It's all.
But I do see like in the book when they said over and over again. Sorry if I cut you off, Tim. Please remember your thought. Just a really quick thing. But they keep saying
he's the Green Knight. He's used to having his head cut off. Carry on.
Yeah. Don't make me lose my train of thought. Okay,
I'm sorry.
They kept saying in the book over and over how Sheepstealer's ugly, the ugliest dragon, ugly. And as a reader, I was always like, okay, like slow down. Like, how could a dragon be ugly? Like they're like so cool and angular looking. I bet Sheepstealer's not ugly. Now I get it. Yeah.
Mission accomplished. Yeah, they understood the job. You have one job, make us an ugly dragon. The underbite, I question like if that's even a functional bite at that point. I think they may have gone too far. Give me the breakdown on why that wouldn't work and the dragon would actually starve or something. But it's very funny. Like I couldn't help but laugh at all the Sheepstealer scenes. Tim, your thoughts?
I like the design. I mean, maybe it's probably my Lovecraft fanaticism taking over, but he's got the Byakuya look, and so that's probably why I fucks with it. Whoops, I cursed too early.
That was an FUX. I'm pretty sure that was an FUX. That's what the kids say, Tim. But we do appreciate your moderation of your realness. So, getting back, I said Jace's death, and we immediately went to Sheepstealer. I guess we wanted to talk about Sheepstealer. Yes. So, given the change. Basically, my take was this. Like, okay, I'm glad they're doing a different thing with Rhaena and Sheepstealer than Nettles and Sheepstealer because it makes more sense. And this is kind of what I was chatting with Gray Area on Twitter before the season, and it was like, well, if when we started to get that one clip of Sheepstealer at the gullet swiping for Bela, we're like, oh gosh, okay. So Rhaena's going to be on the dragon, and she's not going to have any control. And Nettles, you were saying Sheepstealer doesn't speak High Valyrian.
she's saying all this stuff to Sheepstealer. Sheepstealer didn't go to finishing school. He didn't go.
Like, he grew up. Sheepstealer seems like he grew up in the Vale. Maybe if you shout at me like a drunken Moon Mountain clan, then I'll understand you.
Yeah, Sheepstealer speaks the common tongue. He don't speak no High Valyrian. Like, we don't even know where Sheepstealer came from, why he was in the Vale, like what, like
presumably, if we're stitching it together in our heads, he would have just like flown away from Dragonstone, probably driven off by the cannibal. Okay, because Cannibal's got like a whole side of the mountain. We haven't seen we're just filling in the blanks here. And so Sheepstealer, fleeing from Cannibal, migrated to the Vale, was like, oh, sheep, there's lots of sheep here. No one bothers me. You know.
That's true. Okay.
Sheepstealer is piebald. That's like a pie patching. She didn't have leprosy. Maybe she had dragon leprosy. I don't think so. We found out that there's dragon water. Why did they just go with fire wine? I'm not sure. They had dragon water.
Dragon water from Ib.
New from Sobe.
Definitely.
Dragon water. It's like vitamin water, dragon water flavor.
Well, them name dropping Ib might be more because of the 9 Voyages show on the horizon. So Ib might be one of the places. Definitely seems like one of the places that Corlys will visit.
Did they mention Ib?
Yeah, the dragon water that he gave him. He said it was from Ib.
Oh, I missed that. Okay, my birds were screaming in my ear occasionally during the episode, so I missed a word here and there. I love this comment from Mr. Terrific. Thank you. Love how ride or die Bela is for Jace. Yeah, so in the middle of... That's kind of what pulled me in, I think, because I was sort of watching this fourth wall broken, like, oh, how are they going to do the changes, blah, blah, blah. But once you see Jace and Bela, like, sort of trying to rescue each other, I was like, oh, gosh. Like, I started, like, getting emotionally invested in it. And that was cool because we haven't seen a lot from their relationship. I keep joking about they never kiss, and we don't really need to see them kissing, but show us something, tender. And I guess let's rewind back to Jace's decision to lock up Rhaenyra and the conversation him and Bela are having outside the door there. What did you think of that, Tim, and then Nettles?
Yeah, I mean, in one way, I understand Rhaenyra's frustration, like when she says to him, like, it's one thing for my Craven council to do it. It's another thing for my Kingsguard to do it, like, okay, but now my own son, and it's like really showing the struggle of like, they really don't take me seriously.
Yeah, I think they were showing a gender bias by showing how easy it was for Jace to talk to the other male Kingsguard and be like, she's doing a crazy woman thing, just lock the door, man. And he's like, oh, I guess so, so like, I think that was probably intentional.
Yeah, I think that's why they juxtapose it with a character like Lohar, who I don't know. I'm still a bit confused as to how Lohar identifies. I'm getting the idea Lohar's supposed to be a woman living as a man because of being a Triarchy captain, which is why I guess I'll just say they until I get confirmation, which is why they have wives.
I think the thing is they joke about it. Like basically it's like kind of weird, and so they just joke about it, and it is what it is. Go ahead, Nettles.
No, I was gonna say I think last season they referred to themselves as he when they made that joke about the wives. But
yeah, you can say so. The confusion comes from talking about the actor versus the character in the story. The character in the story is also defying gender norms. Like that's kind of the character. It's meant to be confused. Like it's not meant to be like heteronormative. That's kind of the point.
Were you done, Tim?
Yeah, you can go. Go for it.
Okay, so I loved I don't know if it's a change from the books, just something not in the books. I just loved the addition of having Jace lock Rhaenyra in there because before the show, there were, believe it or not, guys, there were Greens in the fandom, and they would always like rag on the fact that Rhaenyra didn't join in the war. Like the parts in the book where they're like, oh, Rhaenyra like didn't fight in any battle, like she's no good to be a ruler, all that stuff. So here it's showing us that like it literally like was not her choice. It was like kept out of her hands. And like Rhaenyra's supporters, like myself, we would always say that just because you didn't see her in a battle doesn't mean she wasn't. So like this show leaves room for like a lot of kind of confirmations of like maybe this time she sits out, but maybe next time she does fight in something. I just love that. I just loved there being a reason showing she did want to fight. And so I hope those early greens can suck it.
I think it all did make sense just for the reason you said. Like Jace has been chomping at the bit to get involved. You know, he's kind of right in the sense that like Rhaenyra shouldn't be probably risking her dragon. Like that's they always bring that up. The same thing with with Aegon. It's like, oh, Your Majesty, you shouldn't go and fly your dragon into battle. That's risky. You're the most important beast on the board. At the same time, it's a Dragon Lord civil war. And at some point, there's only a few dragon riders on each side. That includes the monarchs. And if they're not willing to take their dragons into war and win the war, then what are we doing, kind of? So I think Rhaenyra had hit that point where she's like, okay, if I want to be queen, I'm going to have to get on my dragon and go burn some stuff. But there's also some rage there. She also, like Jace, is mad at being pent up. And she wants to go and do something. So I believed all of that. I thought the motivations were pretty well done there. I sort of questioned the idea that the Kingsguard was that easily turned around, but it's a TV show. We don't have time for, to maybe have a longer discussion or set up Jace having a connection to the Kingsguard and undercutting Rhaenyra. Like, he's in the council. He sees the friction between them. So he's probably, the Kingsguard I'm talking about, been having his own running inner monologue about, what should we do? Like, who's right here? And he was Queensguard. Yes, sorry. Same idea. But yeah, he was that's probably what Rhaenyra's going to be yelling about as far as have you not betrayed your queen. That's probably going to be going to, is it Laurent?
I think it was Laurent, yeah.
What was the last name?
Laurent.
What house?
Laurent? Yeah, I will say I didn't agree. I did agree with his decision, but Jace did it for selfish reasons. Like, I think it was a good decision to keep your mom safe and everything like that, right? And we saw that she's alive because of this. But I think he did it specifically because when Bela was like, "Why'd you do this?" He was like, "Well, to keep her safe, and because she doesn't listen to my counsel." So I think that was like 100% of the reason why he did, because she didn't listen to my counsel. I want to fight. I want to show that I'm better than these dragon seeds, because now he has to compete against the dragon seeds. So it
is Laurent Marbrand, the chat is saying. Yeah. I was about to say that, but I wasn't sure. Okay, cool.
I had just got on the wiki to find it, and that's when,
But yeah, it was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and so Jace, becomes unfortunately like active in his own demise, and that is so often how it works. Then we also have to give Daemon a tip of the cap here, because Jace has been watching Daemon kind of openly defy Rhaenyra in very questionable ways, and so he just kind of did the same thing, in a sense.
Yeah. And now it made me question, like, did Rhaenyra keep Jace out of the war because she knew that he was like a shitty rider?
Oh, they did some good. Actually, no, he got hit both times.
He got hit. Well, he got hit a number of times.
Go higher. Like, what's going on? She probably saw him dragon ride, and she's like, you know what? No. Like, she's probably like, I don't know how you ride a dragon bad, but like, you know what I mean.
So the first time Vermax got hit, it was the first one they had fired. So it was a bit of a surprise. The second time is when Sheepstealer was flying around, and so Jace was looking backwards, which, when you saw that shot of the preview, like, this is the moment before Vermax gets shot. And sure enough, it was.
Yeah, I'm just saying, some moms like know like the truth about their son. Like, she probably like even just being capable. Like, Jace is a pretty boy. Like, maybe he's like, we did see him with the sword. Practicing in the yard. But still, like, she might just know, like, you're not about that action.
Yeah, and so the other thing about Sheepstealer that I was thinking of is, like, there's supposed to be a certain amount of a psychic link between the dragon and the rider, but that also probably takes time to develop, and this is the first flight. So even with that psychic bond, we know that the rider isn't in total control. Like Caraxes and Damon are very simpatico because they've been working together for a long time. So I thought it all made sense that like Sheepstealer doesn't know which ship is which. He doesn't care. He doesn't know that. He doesn't know High Valyrian. He got with the idea that like, okay, this Valyrian girl wants to ride me, and that's what dragons do and stuff. But beyond that, he doesn't know what's going on. So you can't really blame Sheepstealer. Like, that's just doing what dragons do. And I think that's kind of what they've been developing throughout this whole show with King Viserys and talking about we don't control the dragons, and Aemond at Storm's End. They're showing us like the dragons are just dragons, and the people that are trying to train them and use them to war, like it's not an exact science and it doesn't always go right. I think they're getting that pretty well.
Yeah, it really is like, it goes to show like this is a wild dragon. You've known it less than a day, and it's like you look at it from Sheepstealer's perspective. Like, you show up here on my home, right? No badges, no no mutton offering. You don't deign to call me Godfather. What are you doing here? And then you climb on my back and start barking out orders to me.
So we saw the chat. The chat is talking about did Baela see that it was Rhaena? We know Jace did. I think Baela did, didn't she? Didn't she look and say, "Oh, that's my sister," or she said Rhaena? Didn't she?
Baela said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you recognize that it was Rhaena first.
Okay. Yes. Sorry, Tim. What were you saying? I got distracted with that super chat.
Then it was Jace. When Jace is shouting, "Kill the rider," then he sees that it's Rhaena too, and then we're left. There's that moment of like, oh my, is this going to turn into another Luke situation? But no, like Vermax does listen, and he weaves out of the way. But then that's how he gets picked off again by the second Scorpion bolt.
Okay, so I'm wrong. The chat is saying it's Rhaena that recognized Baela, not the other way around. Okay. So we don't know. We'll have to see, I guess. Okay.
We do need to watch that over again. Like, sometimes I wish we could watch the show twice before.
It's a lot. Yeah, I know. I'm torn every year about asking for screeners or not, because like I really like watching it live on Sunday night. I did ask for screeners this year, and we didn't get them. Gray didn't get them. Indie Geek didn't get them. So I'm not really sure what the criteria is for that, but I'm kind of in a way happy that I didn't, because I do prefer doing it live. But thank you. I am relying on you guys to correct me if I misspeak. So I'm trying to keep an eye on that, and we do appreciate you guys. So crowdsourcing the accuracy, we'll get there. And so
no, but I just want to say,
and we're doing it live. As they say. So one thing that I was thinking would be fun this year on the show is to do some weekly awards. And, I thought we would name the awards after people from Game of Thrones. And sometimes there'll be multiple candidates for an award, and sometimes there won't. So, for example, this week, the Lord Varys Liar of the Week award has to go to Alicent, who was lying a blue streak up and down the wall. There was not really anybody else. Well, Larys was lying too, and Aegon was trying to lie, and then Larys started using the truth as a weapon, which is something that's next level. But yeah, I do think Alicent was our liar of the week. It was kind of meh. It's a little shaky. It's working right now, but yeah, a little shaky there. I don't think Helena buys it.
Helena wouldn't.
She's very suspicious.
Yeah.
She already knew. She already saw it. She told Aemon straight up, "You're gonna die, and Aegon's gonna be king. Don't forget." Like, she knows, yeah.
Well, she knows some stuff. The stuff that she's drawn on the walls and seen in her dreams. I really wish we had seen her. I will just say, just a brief nerd. I just wish we had seen Helena ride Dreamfire in the books. She loves riding Dreamfire. It's her favorite thing. I love the Dragon Dreamer stuff. I do like the character they have created. I just wish we had seen her like having a vision in connection with her dragon. That would have been cool.
Yeah. I guess they're saving it. They're saving it for, they don't want to throw two dragons at once. Rickon
Stark, Death of the Week. Well, that show Rickon is what we're talking about. Jace probably compares really well to Robb. I've heard a lot of people make that comparison. So it's, the Robb Stark Red Wedding of the Week award, if you want to give that to Jace. There's not another contender. Shirako had a good death. Love Alan jumping in to kill Shirako with a just really it was a lot better than Euron fighting. Who did Euron fight?
Jamie?
Yeah, God, that was awful. I thought this Alan Shirako fight was way better. And of course, it started with Corlys, who apparently fights with a Dothraki Auroch. That's cool.
I wonder if was it Valyrian Steel?
Don't know, but he's been everywhere, so he could have picked up anything. I love the little Dothraki lore, like in Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Sir Arlen had some Dothraki story. Was he singing a song in Dothraki?
He was singing, like he was fluent or something. I don't know. Wasn't he yelling in Dothraki?
I'm not sure where the axe was. I think probably, though, the Auroch is a better weapon in close quarters fighting, because the axe is like a big swing kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And you can use that Auroch. It's very nimble. So that kind of did make sense to me.
For close. Somebody
they're designed to kill
Lightbringer?
unarmed opponents. Sean, Hero with 1,000 Voices, is saying, and that makes sense if you're fighting a bunch of pirates without armor. Hey, Sean, what's up?
Hey,
Good
Sean.
call.
Somebody in the chat said Livebringer, and I've been laughing about that for a couple moments when you were
Lightbringer.
saying we're live. Livebringer. When you were saying we're live, we didn't get screeners and we're going off the top of our heads.
Yes, that was a more kind one. They were hitting me with David Lightbringer in the chat before we went live. Because I was waiting on one of my guests to call. I'm not going to name names, but there's one of the people on the screen. In any case, point is, we're here now, and we do appreciate you. I do run a tiny bit late, but of course, it's better. I'm trying to get ready and then turn it on and not be fumbling and bumbling. Yeah. But yeah, we're here now. So let's see. So we got the Liar of the Week. That's for Alicent. I guess we could talk about the kiss or whatever. The whole manipulation there. She's basically trying to So the whole Alicent invites Rhaenyra to King's Landing thing is questionable. But given that they have done that, I thought it was pretty cool, to see Alicent's get wide eye, her plans are quickly falling apart. She's got to shore it up. She's like, "Where's Aegon? We got to find him. Aemon, do you really need to go?" What did you think of that, Nettles?
She's really bad at it. And it was skillful, because as an actor, you're acting like you're bad at this plan. You could tell her eyes, she was like, "Oh yeah, you should go." Come on. So that was brilliant, because that was a choice. I don't think the director told her to do that, but it's a way to kind of wink at the audience, just hey, I don't really mean this. I'm trying to say that as part of the
That's
plan.
A great point. It's very fourth wall breaking to think about it, but it's just how to play a bad liar as opposed to a good liar. Olivia definitely delivered there. And I think the point of the kiss, probably, I think the chat's getting it right here, it's to make the scene uncomfortable. Because she's trying to manipulate her son. She's not looking out for his best interest at this point. She has basically given him up as a psycho, and she is now trying to cut her losses. And that's creepy, even though Aemond himself is kind of psycho and creepy. So, that was a disturbing scene. I will say that.
Tim, we're about to say something?
Yeah, it's like when the Cersei realization of that Joffrey truly is a monster, and now Alicent's having that moment too. I also think it's foreshadowing. I can't go too much into it, but why certain things, at least that certain story beats that should happen with Aemond, are going to happen to Aemond. As they said, when he finally does get to Harrenhal, that was a big thing of why is Aemond still here? Everyone's waiting on. That was a major running theme throughout the whole episode. Is we're waiting on Vhagar. We're waiting. That's what Kristen Cole and Gwaine Hightower are doing, but that's also what Ulf, Hugh, and Adam are all on. Everyone's waiting on Vhagar. One side to continue on, and the other, and then those guys, the Dragon Seed's waiting because they think they're going to do some kind of ambush.
Yeah, I thought they did a pretty good job of stitching that up. It kind of makes sense to send those 3 dragons of a decent size to ambush Vhagar. That's something that could have happened. They're waiting on the Isle of Faces because that's a good spot to ambush the dragons from. But it's a little glossing over some things to just be like, oh yeah, just go over to the Isle of Faces and wait there. Like nobody goes to the Isle of Faces.
Yeah.
And that wasn't talked about at all. So it was a little weird to be like, wait, are they on the Isle of Faces? Yeah, they are. And then, of course, you get the black goat and the green man and teleporting Alys Rivers.
Yeah, which...
Crazy.
The black goat. So we got the setup there. Because it's the perfect setup. Like, first we start with the Ulf's out there and taking a poop. And he sees the black goat, and maybe the black goat asks him if he wants to live deliciously. But then we move on. We see the green man, and then that's when Alys. So we're getting all this witchy imagery with like that black goat. I'm just going to refer to him as Black Phillip because it's all witch stuff. Then in comes the green man, and then Then Alys Rivers shows up and just straight up says, "Oh, I'm a witch."
So I did think that was funny. Alys Rivers is always funny to me. I like the actor and the delivery. The chat is talking about Ormond Hightower having some sort of cocaine inhaler. Did I look away from the screen and miss something there?
I must have looked away as well.
Tim, did you catch that?
No, but when I first saw Ormond Hightower, I was getting like Dennis from It's Always Sunny vibes. The first time I saw him, I said, "This looks like a man. This man is untethered, and his range knows no bounds."
Smelling salts. Okay, thank you. Smelling salts. Yeah, you guys spread rumors about Ormond Hightower like that, man. I could make a real life politics joke, but I won't. And so, so Alys Rivers, we got three choices. Either she wasn't really there, and she was projecting herself, kind of like Quaithe does to Dany, whether that's through a glass candle or some other means. Alys Rivers is a blank slate. She could have any magic. We don't know. So maybe she was projecting herself, or you can teleport through the weirwood trees somehow. That doesn't really make sense. I don't think, like, the others can teleport. Shadow babies maybe, but like Alys Rivers,
yeah, that's
a little bit of a stretch. I think that leaves us with weirwood tunnels under the lake, doesn't it? Like from the Godswood to the Isle of Faces. Because how did the Green Man get to the Harrenhal Godswood? There must be tunnels down there, right?
Could be, yeah.
Because you don't turn into owls in Ice and Fire. You skin change owls. You don't turn into one. You can't turn into an owl and land and transform back into a woman. That's not the magic system.
I haven't seen that.
That we have, yeah.
Astral projection, yes. I'll just vote. I'll vote for the tunnels because it's whimsical.
The chat's like, maybe she took a boat. I guess so. We don't know. Maybe she just knew they would be there and just literally rowed a boat out there. I suppose that is also possible. Let me get Maynard Plum. Let me get a poll. Weirwood tunnels, a boat, teleportation, or projection.
Are we sure they're directly on the Isle of Faces and not just still on land, like near Harrenhal?
No, they were, because you saw once the camera rotated, Harrenhal was in the background on the shore, and they're in the middle of the water. So yeah, that was the Isle of Faces.
They are directly there. Huh.
So just for Maynard Plum again, weirwood tunnels, weirwood teleportation, a boat, or projection. Those are our four choices. I am curious to see what you guys think about that, because it kind of could be any of those. We did see some astral projection type stuff with Helena jumping into Daemon's dream. That's a good point. It kind of leads to something that a lot of us talk about in the fandom, which is that in Ice and Fire, there's the different on-ramps to the magical superhighway where it's kind of all the same. And so an ice magic user, fire magic user, green seer, they can see the same events and perceive each other on the astral plane through like symbols and foggy shapes and things like that. So here we got our poll. Was it a boat? Was it tunnels? Was it astral projection or weirwood teleporting? This is great. This is why you come to this live stream, because we do fun things like this. And I mentioned the liars of the week while we vote on this, and Allison did a bunch of lying. What did you think of Laurie's? Is clearly is a clever scene. Like, so Aegon's just trying to lie. Laurie sees that they've pierced, like, okay, that's not working. And so now he's using the truth to manipulate, which I said, that's next level deceiver stuff. And it looked like from the next week's preview that somehow they're going to, they're going to turn the tables on these guards and escape or whatever.
Well, to Larys' credit, like, he had to do the truth because Aegon wasn't playing along. He wouldn't swallow his pride, drop down and kneel. And it's like, dude, you're not actually swearing loyalty to Rhaenyra, but that's how big, even broken and battered as he is, that's still how big his ego is. That even if it's just a lie, just to get us on, keep us on the road and keep us alive, he still won't do it.
Great point, Tim. Great point. No, yeah, I agree. I think it's interesting. I hope they do this right, and by doing it right, I mean write some clever wordplay from Larys, because Larys has the opportunity to be our Tyrion. Like, and by be our Tyrion, I mean, like, when you're comparing the Game of Thrones series, you had this character who should not have made it through all the things that he made it, but through his wordplay, he was able to, like Tyrion turning the Veilmen, like asking for a trial by combat all those times. Like like we're missing that from this show, is like these like little monologues.
The Tyrion that we should have gotten. Book Tyrion, the scheming, conniving Tyrion.
Yeah, but the first seasons we had him.
We had him.
So I thought anything with Larys and Aegon is great because the two actors are just very, very good. And I liked how the scene, Tim, to your point, had that 1-2 punch of first it's like, oh, they're doing this scene to humiliate Aegon. They're going to make Aegon kneel and swear, ha ha, oh, and he can't do it. But then the second layer evolves of like, we see Larys, the master manipulator, and Aegon's confusion. He doesn't know what's going on, and he gets humiliated further. But it's all for the greater good, quote unquote. So you have to, Larys is not only trying to keep Aegon alive, like, because that's his route to power, he's also manipulating Aegon as well. So there's like, he's helping him and manipulating him and shaping his thinking and stuff. And I think I continue to enjoy the characterization of Larys. In the books, it's just confusing. He's just this blank box of like, well, maybe he did this and maybe he did that. And who knows if he killed his family or not. And I like what they've done with the character.
We saw that with him withholding the milk of the poppy. Like, he's like, oh, I forgot. It's like, no, Larys, you wouldn't have forgotten milk of the poppy. You're helping Aegon by, like, letting him get his wits about him back.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't believe that he actually forgot that. He chose not to. And in the books, Aegon has this journey where for a while, almost a year, he basically just indulges in the milk of the poppy. And then after a certain point, he's like, okay, I've just got to face the pain and be lucid. So, yeah, that was pretty cool. And let's see here. Yeah, Larys is 10 steps ahead. I will say, going back to the poll real quick, some people do think that Alys isn't real. That, it's only Daemon and Aemond seeing her. And that is sort of possible. They don't have her interacting with Simon Strong directly, and there's that one scene where Simon sort of looks at her, but almost like he'd seen a ghost or whatever. That is a potential. She could be just a projection from the Weirwood net, and maybe she's not real at all. Now, I don't think that lines up with some of the stuff in the books. In the books, it seems more certain that she's a real person. Yeah. Especially with the scene at the end. We don't no spoilers, but like the final scene that we have with her at Harrenhal.
Yeah.
Seems like she's a real person. But I just wanted to acknowledge that some people do think she's not real, and there's nothing to say that she is exactly. So that would be astral projection, I guess, if that's your thought, which is winning the poll, by the way. Everything else is pretty even. Some people, about 23% for teleporting, 23% believe in Weirwood tunnels. That would be my answer, because I do think the Weirwood tunnels are there anyway. So that would make sense. And about 22% people, maybe she just literally used a boat. And the thing there is that she would be allowed to approach the Isle of Ravens, where everyone else is driven off by currents or birds or whatever. So,
yeah, I guess the astral projection works because that would be like, again, having the black goat and then the horn man. It's like you give everyone like a quick little mind blip, right? and then that kind of like sets them in the state of mind to see an astral projection in real time like that.
Okay, so a couple people in the chat are saying Simon and Damon did talk about Alys. So I guess the theory would be that maybe she appears to whoever she wants to, but I don't remember that conversation. What was it?
It's when Oscar Tully's grandfather, right before he actually passes, Simon says that I even sent our own healer, Alys Rivers, to like basically to comfortably see him through to the end. So she was there, like, so she was there. It was like a hospice moment, right? As he took his last breath, she just kind of like gave it. She just kind of like comfortably gave him his death. It seems like the gift of mercy type deal is what I take from it.
So I guess maybe the theory is that like, yeah, she's sort of bewitching Simon Strong. So he thinks that they have a healer named Alys Rivers. Hard to say. We'll see eventually. It could be that they're just hand waving it, but we're trying to figure out how it could work. So Hope Elope, you delight me with your super chat. Will Lares' foot fetish move to Aegon now? #besties. No reason why not. It depends on if the first of all, is Aegon's foot burned, and second of all, does Lares like that? I don't know. I can't put myself in the mind of Lares, but we'll keep your eyes out. It was probably just something they did for the Alicent Lares relationship. I doubt we'll see it come back, but who knows? So since we're talking about the Isle of Faces, and let's go ahead and close out the poll. It's holding steady here with 291 votes. And by the way, we've got 1,100 people in the stream, so thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Astral Projection is the winner. That's definitely a strong possibility. I don't even think that Astral Projection is necessarily just limited to the glass candles. Like, if they want to tell me that Bloodraven can do that, or Bran can do that, that's not going to be a hard sell. So,
yeah. Oh, so let's do like on the Isle of Faces when Ulf giving his background story, they're giving him a R'hllor connection. He talks about it's a priest from Essos that tells him that he has dragon blood, and then he refers to him as that red C word. But if you know, like, red priests mean R'hllor, so it was a R'hllorist that he was essentially selling himself to, who told him about his dragon, who made him aware of what he is.
Yeah, so they're giving us a little sympathy for old Ulf the Sot, like, oh, he's a victim of some pretty sick stuff. Sounds a lot like Varys, doesn't it, Nettles?
I was about to say, Ulf the eunuch. Changed my mind.
Oh, did they?
No. He didn't say that, but
Okay.
I'm just saying, changed my mind.
But it was a similar setup there.
Yeah.
Pretty twisted.
So
the Red Priest. Sorry.
I said they're not going to trick me. I don't feel sorry for Ulf the Sot.
Yeah, you know what's coming. It really, the Red Priest sounds like a sick MFer. Like, he's skilled in magic and identifies this dragon-blooded person, and then that just enhances his his sexual abuse fantasy for him. That's pretty messed up, and does kind of potentially explain, some of Ulf, like, how did he get that way? Yeah.
Because again, we're seeing the setup for some things in the future. Like when he says, like, well, she's going to make us a knight, so shouldn't we get a castle? And then they have to explain to him, like, no, knights don't get castles. Knights get a horse. Well, what do I need with a horse when I got a dragon?
Yeah.
That was very close to
formal education at all.
I was sorry, Nettles. I was saying it's close to the book version where Ulf is like, "Fie on that! We should be lords. We should have castles, and all this stuff."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could become a landed knight. There is that. That is a possibility.
Yeah.
Right. It was like, well, you need castles to get the women. Not unless you're Sir Arlen. You just you don't even need a castle anyway.
First you get the dragon, then you get the castle, then you get the women.
So I've got the Theon Greyjoy Whose Side Are You On Anyway award. And so we've actually got some good nominees for this. So number 1 is Jace, locking up the queen. Alicent, Whose Side Are You On Anyway? Okay. And also,
I think you should throw Sheepstealer. Whose side are you on?
so those are our...
I was going to say Ulf. You can put Ulf.
Sure, let's do that, because he also wanted to disobey the queen. And yeah, so we go Ulf, Sheepstealer, Alicent, and Jace, Maynard James Plum. That is our Theon Greyjoy, whose side are you on anyway award. Let me move these pictures. Sorry, there's Ulf. Yeah. Perfect. I don't look, again, I don't have screeners. I don't have Alt-Shift-X's permission to play the entire episode on the live stream, which I love Alt-Shift-X. Shout out to Alt-Shift-X. I don't have his pull, so pardon me if I don't update the pictures fast enough. You're coming here mostly for the discussion and these exciting fan polls, so thank you.
Yeah.
And my guests, of course.
I also want to just take back what I said. I'm replaying Ulf's story in my head, and it's just like, I do feel sorry for him. Over here, we change our minds.
Oh, and Shirako Lohar, a little bit of a loyalty thing too. Like, do you think I came here to win their war for them? No, I came here to kill the sea snake. Yeah.
That wasn't the terms of the contract. It's like, oh, I've altered the terms of the deal. Right?
Okay, so Maynard Plum, sorry, take Sheepstealer out of the poll. That's like Sheepstealer's a dragon. Let's go with the 4 people, being Ulf, Alicent, Jace, and Shirako. Yeah, who was the most duplicitous, or whose betrayal did you find the most interesting? You can vote on it however you want.
The Theon Award.
It's the Theon Award. Who gets the whose side are you on anyway? Award. So yeah, because Sheepstealer don't mind stealing sheep. You know, that's what Sheepstealer does. Doesn't mind burning some boats either. And if there's another dragon, I actually loved the depiction of Sheepstealer. Like, this is what we've seen with dragons. Like, if there's a fight, they might just go right towards it and just start effing stuff up. Because they're dragons and they're chaotic, you know.
But it's crazy because even like 2 years ago, when people were like, fandom was speculating, they're like, oh, we're gonna get the gullet on the first episode, or there were leaks or whatever, and people were like, oh, Bela's gonna show up, is gonna be part of the gullet to replace Nettles, and everyone kept saying that doesn't make any sense. She hasn't even claimed her dragon. How is she gonna claim a dragon, learn to ride, proficient enough to be at war, and then join the gullet? But lo and behold, they somehow did it.
Because
the exact thing that you said was impossible.
Because she does one out of those 3 things. Even the whole claiming the dragon is still a bit iffy. Because because as we know, Sheepstealer's on Sheepstealer's side.
So I will just say, Maynard James Plum, I know for a fact that he listened to Fire and Blood on audiobook as opposed to reading it. And so Shirako Lohar is now Sriracha Lohar, which kind of fits. Nice. Saucy Better. Pirate, that works. Sriracha Lohar, that's her. That's them. So yeah. Alicent is pulling in front here, followed by Jace. That's interesting. And then Sriracha Lohar, and then Ulf. Show Stealer, Sheepstealer, no. Show Stealer. Yeah. A bit.
The ugly dragon. That's crazy.
And I think they did skillfully manipulate us there. Like, we love Sheepstealer. They know that they are setting us up to love Sheepstealer. We already did love Sheepstealer. You can't call a dragon an ugly dragon and not expect us all to love it. But at the same time, Sheepstealer is causing chaos, and we're like, oh God, Jason Bela. And so, yeah, they created a nice little war of emotions there with the battle, which we should take a minute to say. The sea battle itself was pretty sick. I've never seen anything quite like that. I don't know, is Nolan's Odyssey out yet, or are people just buying tickets right now?
They're just buying tickets. I think it comes out soon, like in July, like next month.
It'll probably have some pretty boss sea battles, I'm sure. Whatever else we could say about the movie. But this was pretty cool. I'd never seen anything quite like that. Very exciting. And like I said, I really love how they brought it close with the boarding and the rolling battle between Corlys and Shirako and Alan. Love the fight choreography, falling into the water, like strangling each other, stabbing each other in the water. Alan sort of stripping off his armor. Pretty sick stuff.
I feel like I was learning stuff too. Like it was so technical. They use all these technical terms. I'm like, okay, so when you're going through like light waters, you have to like say like 10 feet, 20 feet, like you have to do all the, I don't know anything about sailing, guys. So I felt like I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And so it was beyond realistic. It was great.
We didn't see Corliss after he fell too, so they're gonna like his survival is in doubt, I guess, for people who sorry guys, he's not dead yet. I guess that's minor spoiler. It's really hard for us not to spoil. We're trying not to, but he's probably not dead unless they really change some things. He's got a lot of stuff left to do. I love seeing him fight. I'm happy for Steve Toussaint. He's great. He was one of the cons I went to post House of the Dragon in LA a couple years ago. He was kind of the light of the thing. Like everywhere he went, he was just cracking people up. He's very, very charming.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and also very tall. He's like 6'4", so he commands a lot of attention. And I was happy to see him get. He got good lines. It was nice to see him and Alan talk it out a little bit. You could see Alan sort of choking down some of the things. He was like, oh, yeah, I cared for your mother. I had a certain affection for whatever it was. And Alan's like...
when Corliss went down, he yelled, Father. Daddy, no! Like, perfect. So I guess that's our crowning Father's Day moment there is Alan did acknowledge him.
You're so right
Father's
about
Day.
that. Happy Father's
Crazy.
Day, everyone. Happy
Father's Day. We did forget. That's crazy.
That's why we have Tim the Dynamo to point these things out for us.
Yeah. There's
perfect-
a niche, small section of the internet, which is like people, kids and adults talking about like being the child of the favorite baby mama or being the child of the least favorite baby mama. And they just compare and contrast like what it's like, fathers that have like 4 sets of kids, they'll be like, okay, well, I'm the child of the favorite baby mom. So I have like self-esteem and I went to private school and like the least favorite will be like, we got every other Christmas. Like,
Corliss is like, your mother was, I'd say a 7,
yeah. My
As
second
someone
favorite baby mama.
As someone who has half siblings, I can say I am the second favorite of the favorite baby mama.
Tim, come here. Let me give you a hug, Tim. We love you. You're loved. You're valuable, Tim. You're special. We care about you. So let me just say about this poll, which is neck and neck between Allison and Jace. Jace went and got himself got. He went. I don't know if I said that right, but he got. He got himself got, and it was well done because he was right about a couple things. He was right in that, like, you probably shouldn't base your whole battle plans on Allison's word. He's saying because Allison's lying, and I'm saying because Allison doesn't have the power to deliver all that, apparently. But he's nevertheless correct, and he's probably, like I said, arguably correct that she shouldn't be risking herself when she has other dragon riders to deploy. Although I think you could give Rhaenyra has an argument too that at some point she's got to get out there and do it as well. But that was a huge mistake. I mean, that was kind of what set all this into motion. So that was a big, you reap what you sow kind of a thing there. And the bottom line is that when a team isn't on the same page with each other, it falls apart. And we see that with Team Green and Team Black. They do it on, like, Daemon and Rhaenyra have at times not been working together, and then they finally kind of come to a meeting of the minds. And this Jace thing has been an issue the whole time because Rhaenyra is too protective of her children and not thinking about them as like one of my dragons. And obviously Team Green, a lot of internal strife. So, this is like a house divided cannot stand, both in the macro level, in the Greens versus Blacks, they're tearing the House of the Dragon apart. And then within the teams, we also see, like, to the extent they're not working on the same page, this is why they lose.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Sitting here listening to that, it makes me think of like this. It's so awful. Like, what's the next step? And now I feel like Rhaenyra has to kill that Kingsguard. What's
He
his
might
name?
be about to be dragon food, honestly.
Lauren?
I think they set that up
Lauren, you
because
gotta
Jace
die.
is like, even with your life, meaning even if you get killed, you got to do this. So I think he's going to get killed.
Rhaenyra's gonna be so angry. Like, The grief, nah, you gotta die.
The incest kiss was Father's Day celebration. No, that's twisted. No, it was Adam calling his dad father. That was the Father's Day nod. But I guess.
But going back to the Allison incest kiss, it was crazy because as they're like talking, I'm thinking, like, you know, if I was like writing, like Aemon has to be like the villain here. He has to be like Euron, Greyjoy, Ramsay, Joffrey. As we need that caliber of villain. We don't have that yet, right? So I was like, Aemon's great way to do that. I'm like, and I was thinking, how could they do that? And of course, my mind went to the extreme, like bad thing, like he should do the bad thing to his mom, because that would make everyone hate him. It'd be a way like he would never be able to come back from. But then also it just shows you like how messed up he is, like looking for his mother's approval. And then also it would show like obviously women in history, that was our role. When men wanted to show you like who's boss, that's the one thing that they could do to you to break you that's worse than death. So like if I was a writer, I was thinking, I'll go, that's how I would make him unlikable. And then the kiss happened. And then I said, you know what? They kind of just showed everything I just thought of without going that far. Just with that kiss, our imaginations were able to run. We were able to see Aemon like exert his dominance over his mother, being like, you're just a woman. And if I wanted to, like, this is what would happen.
That's really good analysis, Nettles. I think you hit it right on the head here. It is a dominance thing. So often sexual deviance, quote unquote, is actually a dominance thing. So yeah, you're right, because that was kind of the point of a lot of Aemon when he's talking down to his mother previously, like, you're just a woman, like, what are you doing here in the small council? Like, yeah, it's very sexist, very patriarchal for sure. And
so one of the things I wanted to point out is like they're going this route by, if you notice, when Alicent returns and that one Kingsguard, it comes over, he says, the king desires an audience. Now, that's a big change in the book. Oh, yeah, and so season 3, new drinking game. Every time Tim says in the book, take a shot. But in the book, Aemon never declares himself king. After Aegon gets injured, he only declares himself protector of the realm. But here, it's the king desires an audience in the throne room, and then he's there sitting on the Iron Throne. So, yeah, Aemon essentially has declared himself king, and at least some people, that Kingsguard in particular, are accepting it. They are openly referring to him as the king. And then that's when she comes in and says, like, and he says, Aegon has abdicated. He's gone out with that toad. Calling Larys a toad again. So call back to season 2. Yeah, he ran away with that toad Larys.
That was like the best line drop in the whole season.
I have to shout you out, David, with the Henny, not the Henny. No, see, now we have to meet in real life and we have to party. Like I have to drink with you, because the casual pullout of the Henny, I wasn't ready.
Don't sell me short. I seem like a mild-mannered nerd, but I was actually at a drum and bass camp out in the woods last night, 2 hours away from my home, and I'm here today. Like I have not retired. I'm not retired. So.
That's crazy.
I would love to, dude. Right. I would love to hang out with you and you got a whole family. And Sheepstealer too. I'd love to meet Sheepstealer, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Some Dragon's Water. No.
So rest in peace, Jace. You did at least win our poll. Congratulations. Small consolation, I'm sure, but he did win the poll. So there you go. Good job. Thank you, folks, for voting. 340 votes. And, let's see here. Where do we want to go next? We could do some more awards. We could talk. Well, we've touched on the dragon seeds at the God's Eye, but we've got some loose ends there. So, assuming Alys Rivers has a way, boat or tunnel or whatever, to get there, what are they doing? So, what did they do? Like, it's an open question. What is the agenda of the old gods? R.E. the Dance of the Dragons. I can't say for sure. You know, like, we know they want the prince that was promised to get born eventually, but is this all about manipulating the bloodlines to get there? Are they wiping out the dragons so that Dany brings him back and only has 3? Like, hard to say. But what they did here, at least, just to collect the puzzle pieces, is they seem to have sent the dragon seeds to the gullet late. I don't know if they were intentionally waiting, but it could just be that like they went to the wrong place, and so the old gods are like, no, go help Rhaenyra. Just like they were telling Daemon, like, go help Rhaenyra. Like maybe they're just Team Rhaenyra.
I like your idea of wiping out the dragons.
Maybe we can come up with another poll. What is the old gods' agenda? Are they trying to wipe out the dragons? Are they trying to prune the bloodline? Tim, what do you think?
Yeah, because if the old gods are trying to wipe out the dragons, that makes it sound like the old gods are in league with the others, which I guess could be if we're going the darkest, if we're going down the darkest timeline. The others are viewed as gods by certain people in the far, far north. So maybe, but I think I think for narrative reasons, it's more of a trying to prune the blood. It's trying to get that perfect bloodline until we get Bloodraven, who's going to be more directly start pruning the family tree.
Yeah, but if you're pruning the bloodline, you're talking to Aemon and Targaryens. Like you're not talking to Ulf and Hugh. Like they have nothing to do with the bloodline, but they have some big dragons.
Mm.
Well, what they did in this episode is they redirected these dragons back to the gullet, seemingly. So they're going to show up there late, but maybe the timing of it is the fault of them being sent there on purpose, and they're trying their best. I think we will know more once we see what Alys is trying to do with Aemond. That will give us some more insight. But in the books, Adam does come to the God's Eye a little bit later in the story, but he stops by the God's Eye before flying to a great battle. And so they have essentially taken that idea and moved it up. But it wasn't like there was some big revelatory experience. None of the dragon seeds ate weirwood paste or drank weirwood tea or had visions or anything. They just saw a green man and Alys, and they're like, you shouldn't be here. You should go somewhere else. And then they did. So yeah, we'll just have to keep asking that question, I guess. But it is a mystery.
Yeah. It's one of those questions, like, we can't truly get into the nitty-gritty of it without bringing up spoilers right now.
Yes, well, we could say, in general, they could be manipulating things just to get this one battle. There's actually a couple battles that take place near the God's Eye. So there's a lot of blood that ends up getting offered. We won't say whose blood, but there's a lot of blood that is offered to the lake. And I also think that it is logical to assume that any blood that goes into the lake can feed the weirwoods. Because we see the pond in front of the Heart Tree in Winterfell, and the blood is offered to the pond. In Bran's vision, Bran can taste the blood through the weirwood. So if the water's connected to the weirwood roots, it can drink. Go ahead, Tim.
I was going to say, I guess that's a good transition because we haven't talked about them yet. Daemon, Oscar, and the appearance of Roddy the Ruin. Rivermen must be returned to the mud. So that is more blood in the water talk.
Kind of is. Yeah, because the mud, they're implying the river when they say the mud. The colors of House Tully are mud, red, and the blue of the river. Those we're specifically told that. So we know the Tully funeral is like a Viking funeral. They put, the boat and they set it on fire. But the thing is, after the boat is burned, the idea is that it sinks. And so eventually they end up at the river bottom in the mud. And so, yeah, that's what he was referring to. And of course, the oldest house in the Riverlands, or one of them at least, is House Mudd, which is no more. No, rest in peace, Christopher Mudd, Hammer of Justice. We'll never know his like again. That was cool. Yeah.
No, yeah, super cool.
And we got the "We've come to die for the Dragon Queen" line.
Huh? Say that again.
We got the line. We've come to die for the dragon. Like, he sat there and paused. He's like, "Am I going to say it? Say it." And then he said it. It was cool.
I was so happy when he said it.
Yeah, and then, of course, the flourish of throwing, I guess that's Jason Lannister's prop head. Pretty sick. True northern entrance there.
Yeah. That's why I said that in our chat that Jason Roddy or Jason needs to get the Ned award for, I guess, Jason for losing his head. The Ned,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the Ned Stark award. Yeah, that's a no contest one. Yeah, we'll give that to Jason Lannister since we didn't even see his death on screen. We should at least give him an award.
Oh,
Yeah.
I do want to, because Sean should point out, like, Tommy Flanagan, the award for the perfect casting award definitely goes to Tommy Flanagan as Roddy the Ruin. I mean, I'm a fan. I've watched Sons of Anarchy, so I know him best as Chibs, and also because that if you notice the scars on his face, Tommy Flanagan, that's a real Glasgow smile he has. Those are real scars that he received because of a fight in the early '90s. So yeah, he perfectly looks the part. Everything that I envisioned Roddy the Ruin, Tommy Flanagan brings it in spades.
So it's called Glasgow Smile.
I was going to say, is this some sort of Irish people like to fight thing or what?
What is? I'm writing a note to look that up. Glasgow.
I said Rhaenyra is the hands down winner of the Arya Stark I'm really bad at sewing a dress award. I hate this dress. I hate it.
Needlework, Arya Needlework Award.
Well, let me ask you, Nettles, as a woman, what did you think of Rhaenyra's scene where she's sort of raging against the confines of her gender? Like, I may have a woman's body, but I have the strength of a man. Like, it's very internalized sexism, kind of. In order, she has to frame strength as masculine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting because it reminds me a little bit of Cersei, right? Like the aggressive way that she's fighting against not her gender so much as the constraints of her gender.
No, yeah. I mean, we women feel this every day living in 2026. Not every day, but we know what it feels like to feel like, oh, my body, like sometimes I'd rather be a man. So definitely in medieval times, pre-medieval times, with none of the comforts we have, that most women would feel this way. So I like the portrayal of it. I definitely identify with it. And then, of course, like she said, like, I have the heart of a king. Like, I felt like that part resonated. Like, it like rang like a bell. Like, it was just so clear, like perfect, everything. I don't like her ripping the dress. Like, I feel like the emotion behind it, the words, like the writing, everything was fine. But then it's just like, why are you cutting the dress? Like, come on. Like,
I think I would have rather see her like scream and flip the table, maybe. Yeah,
or just like be like Rhaenys, the queen that never was, and just be graceful and be like, I don't care, I didn't want the throne. Like, not saying those words, but Rhaenys wouldn't be cutting up no dress. Like, it was like teenager Rhaenyra, maybe that's what they were trying to show. I don't know, but it was just kind of like, oh, that part was like hollow. Like, oh, I'm stabbing a dress. Come on, slap the girls in the room. Like, do something else.
Yeah, I think I agree with all of that. Like, the general scene and the dialogue was good. The cutting up the dress, maybe that's a little silly. I will just say, if you locked me in a room in those circumstances, I'd be flipping out. I'd be flipping out. Like, the whole confinement thing, like, I would be doing something that would look manifestly crazy from the outside. Tim, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, she look at like Massaria and that handmaid and just be like, no, not the dress. Do something useful. Help me break down this door. That's what we need to be doing.
Yeah. I mean, she was picking the splinters from her hands. That was supposed to show that she was hitting that door so hard.
So hard. Yeah, really.
But it's like, we didn't see that. Instead, we see you ripping a dress. So it's like,
he's going to get burned. He's going to be fed to Cyrax, the Queen's Guard. There's no doubt. That's Cyrax food right there.
I would have rather her turn her anger into passion and start making out with Massaria. While your son is getting blasted, you're out here screaming, oh, oh, oh.
Nettles, you are here to say the things that me and Tim cannot say. Thank you. All right. So, yeah.
No, but like, to Nettles' point, that also, so cutting to another scene that we haven't talked about yet, when we get to Kristen Cole and Gwaine Hightower, Gwaine's reaction, like, one of our men just accosted a woman. What are you going to do about it? And Kristen Cole's response is like, well, hang him if you want to. And Gwaine's like, well, yeah, I'm gonna.
Speech.
yeah, you're the Lord Commander. It's going to be more effective if you address it and say it to the other men that we are not going to tolerate that we are still men. We are not going to be beasts. But then Kristen, and then we get cut to Kristen. Kristen's so down into that. He's seen some shit, right? Like in the PTSD, like we're all going to be beasts by the time this is over. We might as well just embrace it now.
No, thanks, World of Westeros. We're due for a super chat catch up here. I've gotten some of them, but yeah, we do read them. I said it right at the beginning, but sometimes we'll read them as they come up, and sometimes we'll let them sit as we finish a conversation and then loop back. I solemnly vowed not to get off the air until I answer them all. But yes, let's go back for them. And I was going to say a minute ago, Tim, Aemond sort of usurping as king there, like claiming the authority, sort of mirrored in Jace, usurping the authority from Rhaenyra, essentially.
Definitely.
So they did some thoughtful thematic foils in this episode, which I thought was cool. So let's go back and grab those.
Yeah, Tim, I forgot about that scene with Hightower and Kristen Cole, but I'm like, wow, like I remember thinking like, it's cool that Hightower, like that they care. Like I give them props for caring to at least show that there's still men like getting justice for this woman. So that was surprising. I was like, oh, am I supposed to like the Greens now? But
it's supposed to show. It's supposed to show like massive shades of gray, right? Like, and they do that with Game of Thrones too. Like we tend to think of the Starks as the good guy, but remember in original Game of Thrones, Brienne has to cut down the bodies of those women that Northmen hung with the sign that says they laid with lions. Like no, and it's something we're going to see more. I hope we're going to see more when we actually start to meet Daeron. Now that Daeron Targaryen has now showed up on the scene, is that he is also like the good face to the Greens as compared to his older brothers, and it's supposed to show like there's good and bad on both sides, right? And if that's the whole point, like if you're Team Green or Team Black, if you really are, like we can joke about being Team Green, Team Black, but if you actually fully align yourself with one side over the other, you're really missing the point. You shouldn't be aligning with a side.
I'm going to align. I'm aligned.
Well, I know you will, and I'm also going to excuse all of Daemon's war crimes. Like I know that, but really though, speaking seriously, that's not seeing the forest for the trees. Like you're not really supposed to align with one side or the other. You're supposed to acknowledge the good that both sides are capable of doing heroic things, but both sides are also capable of doing truly devious things.
Well, that's the real tragedy of a civil war, is that it's the ultimate example of everybody thinks they're in the right, and everybody thinks they're doing what they're doing for the greater good and all that stuff. You guys are great. I love you guys. Rhaenyra's reckless action will be the cause of the rift between Daemon. Rhaenyra's reckless action will be the cause of Daemon and Rhaenyra. A potential rift between them. Rhaenyra will want her head, but she is Daemon's kid. I mean, that's getting a little bit ahead of where we are today, but yes, that does seem to be one of the potential ways that this could go. And that's why we were talking about, did Baela realize that it was her sister? Because we've seen Rhaenyra getting mad at Baela in one of the previews, so potentially she's interrogating her about what happened. Baela could be lying about the fact that it was her sister to save her from the wrath of Rhaenyra. Yes, that could be the way it's going. Absolutely. We'll see.
But I say no. I think Show Rhaenyra is too nice. Show Rhaenyra has never done anything wrong. She's perfect.
She locked a bunch of people in a room with Vermithor and just sort of watched as Vermithor sorted out the wheat from the chaff.
May the odds be ever in your favor.
She told them, you can actually leave right now. She goes, this is your last chance to leave.
And then she locked the door and watched coldly and counted it as a success.
She told them they could leave.
I love the scene. I'm just saying it's not true that she's completely innocent. And if you watch the preview for next week, which you probably didn't, I caught it. And there are some lines that she's ready to commit some violence. So World of Westeros, my favorite part, Winterwolf's arrival. Least favorite, Alicent getting a kiss. Well, I mean, it's, again, meant to be uncomfortable. Laurie Strong snitching, definitely very funny scene. Useless part, new storyline of Sheepstealer changing Jace's death. I mean, I really can't, I will just say respectfully, I can't get too worked up about something just being different than Fire and Blood. Fire and Blood doesn't give us much detail. It just literally tells us, we think Jace got caught up in the ring, Vermax got caught up in the rigging and Jace probably died. It's not a scene that's described. We don't get anybody's POV. There's no emotion to it. It's just a sketch of history. This, what we just saw, had a lot of emotion. So, I mean, I get it, but I don't know. What did we lose, really? Like, what did we lose? It's slightly different than in the book. Like, what did we lose? I'm not sure. The Dragon Seeds would have gotten experience at the Gullet, and now they don't have battle experience. Maybe they'll get that experience some other way. But it's just talking about Jace's death, like, there wasn't really much of a story there to begin with.
Yeah. Well, some people were saying, like, what is Jace's death going to be like the way it is described in the book? Take a shot. Is he just going to be taken out by some Mirish crossbowmen, or is that going to be a cover-up for some other shady doings? And it turns out, no, it was just a bunch of nameless mooks with some crossbows who killed the Crown Prince. And it's like, sometimes it do be like that. Sometimes you just get taken out. The named figure in history just gets taken out by some random grunt. And that's what happened with Jay.
Sorry, I got too excited. Do you know what's missing? I just thought of it. In the book, it's made to seem like Jace is saving his little brother.
I don't have any
spoiler. Sorry, book spoiler. So I think maybe we're missing that, like the whole swap. Like what happens to the boys?
Well, so last we saw Aegon and Viserys, Aegon the younger, Daemon and Rhaenyra's two young kids, they were being shipped over to Pentos on a boat. So in the books, that boat runs into the Triarchy. And Tim was saying, potentially we'll find out next week that did happen. Probably that's how they'll do it. And so they just shifted the emphasis from Stormcloud and Aegon's dramatic escape to the Nettles, Baela, Jace thing. Because remember, Baela's not even there in the book version.
No.
So
yeah. Because I'm sure that next week, a good portion of episode 2 is probably going to be the fallout and the cleanup of the Gullet. And that's probably when we're going to find out what happened to Aegon and Viserys and the ship that they're on. Did it get caught up in this whole mess?
Where is the gay abandon? They didn't abandon it, did they? No, it's there. It's probably there. We'll see. I thought, okay. This one I want to grab. Nettles was okay. So World of Westeros just filling in the Fire and Blood. Yeah, and I made a video about Nettles 2 years ago when we first started catching wind that she was going to be axed from the show. I was very upset. I continue to think it was a poor decision. I can only make the same complaint like so many times. But if you want a good analysis of like why Nettles was important in the books and all that stuff, I do have a Nettles video. Nettles, do you have a Nettles video?
Do I have a Nettles video?
I mean, every video you make is a Nettles video, but
it's a Nettlezilla, yeah. But talking about Nettles or introducing, no.
Well, go check it out. You can search mine on my channel.
Yeah.
And then let's get back to the list of super chats just so we can catch up real quick here. Appreciate the good questions. Yeah. I thought the knifing the dress was because she had to change clothes to ride and put her in that situation. She's on go or demon time from now on. Yeah, again, the preview for next week shows her ready to cause some violence. We saw she was already pissed enough to get on her dragon and risk her life to go defend her fleet. And just to go back to that point, like if you're going to ask a whole ass fleet to go to war for you, you kind of owe it to them to show up or to send some other dragons or something. Like you can't just leave them out there. We saw Kristen Cole's army. They feel abandoned by Aemond. And they're like, yeah, we're blind. We don't have the dragon intelligence scouting out. Because that's one of the things that dragons are most useful for is scouting. Just like Orell the Skin Changer uses his eagle to scout. It's very useful to be able to see out of the eyes of a bird or a dragon in a war situation. And so they're blind. And so Rhaenyra is right. Like she's acting as a just Dragon Lord monarch by saying, we've got to go help them. So I don't want to like just say, oh, well, Jace was right. Like they both had a good point, which is what kind of made it compelling, right?
Yeah. I feel like Jason's point is you'll end up like Rhaenys. And I feel like if Rhaenyra was there, she would have died for some reason. I don't know why I think that. I feel like just seeing the gullet, it's like nobody could survive.
Oh, you know what, Tim? You were talking about Kristen Cole a minute ago. I think they really set us up in the previews. They showed us all this PTSD poetry, Kristen, and we're all starting to talk. What's that?
I mean, the whole time, like when Gwaine is, having the conversation, telling him, like, it needs to be you. You need to make an example of this guy and make him mad. And then Kristen Cole, the entire time, he's just painting his shield. He's doing like his little arts and crafts project while Gwaine Hightower's like really trying to like hammer home of like, this is bad. This is bad optics for us.
Leave me alone. I'm painting my shield. I was just going to say, they set us up because they start to get us to feel a little bit of sympathy for this really bad character, because he's speaking for the rest of the soldiers. All the soldiers could be saying this, like, why do we even fight? Like, look to the skies. The dragons are raining death and destruction on everyone. But it turns out that whole speech was because he was too cowardly to actually enforce code of ethics on his soldiers. So it was just like, oh man, I'm sorry. I felt even a little bit sorry for you. Like, you're scum. Go take care. Go enforce your military code of conduct or whatever. Gwaine is completely in the right in that situation. And Kristen's like, what does it matter? And it's like, bro, then resign. Like, you're not, like, your troops are there. They're counting on you for leadership. And you're just like wallowing in your feelings and stuff. Like, you don't have the space to do that. Right?
He's going to get one more quickie from Alicent, and then I think he'll get hype again. Alicent's going to Harrenhal, isn't he? He's missing his lady. He's missing his lady.
I got to see the live chat right now. Oh man. Oh, that was the best analysis of that scene you're going to find anywhere. Between Tim's joke about the painting the shield and what Nettles just said. Hey. I love you guys. Thank you so much for doing this with me. Yeah. Where is Sir Crispy? I need a picture of Sir Crispy. Do we have one? These are all I've got basically the HBO early release. These aren't screenshots. These are the ones they put out. There he is. There he is. Cool. Go do your job, sir. Are you not Lord
he's
Commander?
Still in his underwear. I had a joke that we never see this Kingsguard in his, like, remember, like Jamie, these people never take off their cloak, but Crispin is in his underwear, like,
you know, where's Dunk when you need him? Stop your raping, sir. Like, we need, you know?
This is the worst Kingsguard I've ever seen.
The worst.
Look at him. He's the hand. Look at the hand, guys.
It's 3 p.m. and you're still in your pajamas. Get your life together.
He's painting his shield in his pajamas. Like, bro, you're playing Fortnite. The army needs you, and you're here and you're playing Fortnite. Like, come on, bro.
You're the hand. Like, this is crazy. This is crazy.
All right, thanks, you guys. I appreciate that. So now that we've followed up on that analysis, like, yeah, I understand it's depressing, but this is what you signed. You helped start the war. Now go lead the war anyway. So how about Daemon? This is a guy that likes himself some ultra violence. So I have a Euron Greyjoy Violent Psychopath of the Week award. Not that it makes you crazy to kill people in war, but we see Daemon, like, he enjoys this stuff. You know, like, he's out there finishing off the stragglers on the battlefield. He's stabbing them. He's jamming his fist right into somebody's face like the Mountain and Oberyn Martell. Like, this is a violent man. And I just appreciate the dedication to the bit. Right, Tim?
Yeah, because, I mean, we saw, like, season 1, the whole Stepstones War, he waves the white flag only for that to be a ruse. It's like, Daemon's underhanded, but he's totally in his element. That is why he is the Rogue Prince.
I will just say that although I do appreciate, like, probably best not to drag in the names of current politicians into the chat, I did appreciate the JD Vance joke. It was funny. Please don't do it again, but it was funny, and I just want to say that. So, but yeah, Daemon is committed. So how does it make you feel, Tim, to see your hero out there doing it, working hard? He's not above this. He's not leading from the back.
It's fine. Like I said, I named my cat Damon, so I deal with Damon war crimes every day, every time he hops up on something and knocks a cup over. So I'm used to it. I'm used to covering for Damon and still loving him no matter what shenanigans he pulls off.
Well said. True. Perfectly said.
Very true.
True. So Clark Griswold, please, that's what I'm talking about. That's not, what are you doing? Like, what are you trying to do to my chat now? Yeah. Come on now. Let's talk about House of the Dragon. All right, so
House of the Dragon, yeah. Even if we have the same politics, YouTube doesn't like it. They're going to shadow ban and do all bad stuff.
Now, somebody did mention that, did you see the House Dustin sigil on that Stark commander? Yeah. Why do they only have Stark banners? I know the Starks are the overlords of the North, so technically these are the Stark bannermen, but shouldn't they have, all the different banners? Yeah,
they should, but at the same time, to their credit, if you notice, when they come out of the woods, Daemon and the River Lords are ready to attack until they see the Stark banner. So the Stark banner being the most recognizable, right? That did potentially stop some friendly fire.
Yeah. I think it makes sense. We don't know those lesser houses. We know the big dogs.
So I'm sorry to real quick. In the chat, we're talking about the Discord. I need to post a new Discord link. If you're new to the channel, we do have a private, it's semi-private, mildly gatekept. You can get a link to the Discord by subbing to Patreon or to the YouTube channel member thing. But Patreon does have a free tier, so you don't have to pay for it. Just go sign up for Patreon at the free level. That allows me to propagandize you with my, news and things. And then we'll post a Discord link. They expire. They're only good for 7 days, so I have to keep doing it every week. And newsflash, I have massive ADHD. So the link is currently expired, but I will post it right after the stream. So if you want to get in our Discord, which is a great place to hang out and talk Ice and Fire, then sign up for Patreon at the free level, and then tomorrow when you wake up, it'll be there. There'll be a link to the Discord. So thank you for asking.
There's book club and all types of treats in the Patreon. So
all types
I recommend.
Of stuff.
I'm in it, so I recommend.
Okay, so all right, let's see where else did we? Oh, we were going through super chats. This is probably a good way to clean up some of the stuff we missed anyway.
Yeah.
I thought knifing the dress was because she had to change clothes to ride and that put her in her situation. I really think it's mostly about just that the dress being a manifestation of the limitations of the gender. She's like, I'm a king, damn it. The letter to the High Towers was written by Alicent, not Aemond, right? That was the sneaky thing. Yeah, the letter, I thought it was like Mysaria opening a letter from the Greens. Apparently not the case. Maybe there'll be more letters going around, but yeah, it was Alicent, passing on Aemon's commands to Ormond, essentially. So
more cases of mail fraud in the future.
Yeah, keep your eye on the mail fraud of the week award. If Rhaenyra went to the battle instead of Jace, do you think she would have survived and fought better? Yes. Rhaenyra has ridden Syrax for 2 decades, and even though she hasn't been to battle, we did see her reading up on Vhagar and the Wars of the Conquest. She's in general going to have a tighter bond with her dragon, although Jace and Vermax did seem tight. Like, Jace was controlling Vermax very well, but that was Fisher-Price my first battle for Jace. And he's, 17 or whatever it is. So, yeah, I think Rhaenyra's dragon is bigger and she's more experienced. But really what they needed to do was to coordinate and have a meeting before they went. They should have all gone, probably, and they should have had a little meeting to say, here's what we're going to do. We're going to approach from this side. We're going to snipe at the flanks. We're not just going to fly into the middle of all the ships. We're going to go around the edges. We're going to look for spots where there's a bunch of the enemy ships that aren't engaged with the, so we're not burning our own ships. Something like that may have helped. But ultimately, it was Sheepstealer. That unexpected presence of a huge... Sheepstealer is like 90 years old or something. She's a big dragon, or he, I don't know which. And that's really the thing. Rhaenyra would have been thrown off by that too. So
Yeah.
that wasn't really Jace's fault.
Sheepstealer's a
I
wild
think Rhaenyra
card.
would have died. I think Rhaenyra would have died if she
Very
showed up.
possible.
Yeah.
Very possible. I don't think his wounds would allow Aegon to bend. Oh, he couldn't kneel because he's good point. That does, yeah. That's
Bad knees.
it was herbs to cover the stink. I think it was smelling salt, but it could have been herbs that Ormond was huffing. Smelling. We got to see why Corlys is called the sea snake. What do you?
He was like how he was like maneuvering through the teeth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like when he like pushes the guy off and like very gingerly says, like, let me do it, and he's the one guiding them through the narrow pass. And it's like, yeah, I even said, like, when I was watching it, I said out loud, that's why he's the best.
Yeah.
I did like that. This is definitely a believable maneuver that you would try to do. Like if you know the dangerous turf, you lure the enemy onto a place where they don't know the rocks and the lay of the land. Like that was pretty cool. I thought it was cool how Shirako got him through by like, how much does your armor weigh? What? Whoa! Like,
It makes
what's
it
your favorite
believable
color? Red. No, blue. Wah!
Sorry. I was going to say, it makes it believable that Corlys is the type of man who could sail, right, to the other side of the earth, to places like Ashai and Karth, and come back alive. Like, the man has just showed his receipts.
Am I just a young girl and like naive in the ways of war? But why are we putting on those heavy armor? We're
on a ship.
On the boat.
It's just a gamble. The Ironborn do it too. There's pros and cons to either side. You're more protected, but you probably drown if you fall off. So it's just high stakes gambling.
I would be counting on drowning. Like it's like you're not going to be close battle. Like you're going to get a bolt to the ship and you're going to go down. Like that's the worst that could happen.
Well, some Ironborn do it like Victarion, but then other Ironborn like Dalton Greyjoy, who I'm peeved because it seems like he's been cut. We're not going to get our Red Kraken. He does not do it. That's why he's the Red Kraken. We see the blood, and some of that blood is his.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me just quickly address a couple of these and thank some folks we've already touched on these topics, the Kiss and the Sheepstealer, but thank you, Hope Elope. And you sent another one too, so thanks. I genuinely want to know how Bela is going to react to Rhaena because I didn't see her notice who was riding Sheepstealer. Yeah, that's going to be a big question for next week, but I think we're going to find out next week. What do you think of the change where the dragon seeds were not there? I think that if they needed to come up with a reason for them not to be there, they did pretty well. They were sent to, the area around Harrenhal to ambush Vhagar. Like, that makes perfect sense. That's something that they could have done. So that was pretty well. And it gives them a chance to build up the Greenmen more. Go ahead, Nettles.
I think you missed this blue one. The blank of the week is Jace. Did you say that one?
I caught that one right when it first came through.
Oh, never mind. Okay, sorry.
I saw it more as a son afraid to see his mother get hurt as well. Well, that's the thing about this being a family affair is that Rhaenyra is protective of her children and Jace is protective of his mother. And it's like, guys, you're in a war. Somebody's got to take the dragon out. Elizabeth I reference, I may have the weak, feeble body of a woman, but I have the heart of a man. Sorry, I meant to acknowledge that. A bunch of you were shouting that out in the chat. Apparently, that is a reference to Elizabeth I. I have no idea, but apparently.
I didn't know either.
People are saying. Tim, do you know about that?
Nah, that one flew over my head.
Disappointing, Tim. I expect you to know these things. A common injury for Crocs is to have chunks of their snouts bitten off. That was what I thought was going on with Sheepstealer. I thought it looked like a deformity, but it could have been an injury. I thought there was teeth around the front. If it was bitten off, there'd be no teeth around the front. I'll have to go back and look close.
Not that maybe if they just bit like a nostril or like part of the mouth or part of the nose.
I'll have to review the videotape.
That's the way they go and they make it so that the cannibal did it, and that is why the Sheepstealer is in the Vale because he was driven off by the cannibal. That would make a lot of sense.
We've got a working theory here, Tim. Can anyone explain why Corlys has an Arak? Yeah, we talked about that. I think, it's just better in close quarters weapon. Lighter, more maneuverable. We are back, baby. Love how, we talked about that one. Leprosy, yep, got that. Thank you for the donated subscriptions. There was a couple people that did that one. Alt Shift X not doing weekly explained videos. Big opening. Is he not? It's hard to tell. He's doing some stuff on Nebula and some on YouTube, so it's hard to keep track of. But I'll definitely be making videos every week. I'm not sure. Like, this kind of is our episode breakdown, so I'll probably usually pick like a topic and zoom in on it, but I've got to sleep and then come up with that idea. Okay, cool. So we went through all that. Thank you, everyone who sent those in. A couple new ones. Rhaenyra should have screened her Queen's Guard. I mean, what are you going to give them? Like, interrogate them about patriarchy? Like, how good are you on third wave feminism? Like, probably not. So, you know, but yeah, it's just they're showing us, Reagan, in all seriousness, they're showing us the difficulty that a woman has trying to be a warlord, you know, which is essentially what a king of Westeros is. And just even the people loyal to her, like, well, yeah, crazy woman stuff. You know, we talked about this, but yeah.
It's never been done, so it's going to be hard, and there's going to be mistakes, so it's normal. It could be worse, honestly, for Rhaenyra. She's lucky she has that dragon.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, it's probably only even possible, perhaps. Still missed my super chats. You only read 1 of 7? Bro, you're killing me. I went through them all. I'm pretty sure that I did.
Oh, no.
Absolutely killing me. I have ADHD.
Sometimes the mods
I
are
said
good.
that already.
Sometimes the mods can help and tell you which one you missed.
But it
I
looks
usually
like
heart them once I respond to them, so that...
Right?
1 of 7. I'm pretty sure you're exaggerating, World of Westeros. Yeah, I got them all. I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry. Back to the
I
live
will say
chat.
sometimes you send super chats, and even though it shows that you paid for them, they don't show up sometimes on the
Maybe that's
actual
what's
live.
happening.
You have to do it again sometimes.
I think Sheepstealer has an injury because his voice is not weird like Caraxes with his funky nostrils. Oh, okay, that could be. When he's hit with the fire in the face, you can see the scar tissue. Ereka doing the close investigation. I'll have to go and look. Does Sheepstealer have leprosy? That could be the video this week.
he's got that. Yeah, he's got that iguana rot that they get when they're not in like a good.
Dragons, like their Targaryen counterparts, don't get sick. The fire burns any disease or bacteria. Thank you very much.
I tend to think so too.
Damon did bring up that point too, which is it's almost a nod to Bloodraven when before Oscar Tully says like, well, we have our own traditions, river meant to be burned with mud. Damon says like we should burn the bodies because burned bodies don't have plague, and then that's something that it's mentioned in Night of the Seven Kingdoms, the Great Spring Sickness, Bloodraven burning the bodies in the dragon pit to prevent the spread of plague.
Daron, the redhead behind Ormond Hightower. Did they give us a tease? I didn't catch it. That's definitely.
No.
I have to go back and look for it.
That is one.
I noticed that redhead. That could not have been Daron. Like he wasn't dressed like a Targaryen or like nobility.
So that's the other like big thing going around was until we finally get Daron proper is are they going to give him tradition like. Is he going to have the silver blonde hair like his brothers, or are they going to try and make it seem like, are they going to give him like red hair or brown hair and make it seem like Alicent that he's not?
They gave Rhaenys silver hair. Everybody is going to have silver hair.
I think Daron will probably have silver hair. That was Daron with his hair dyed. The Daron thing, they've got to be trolling us a little bit. Like they keep talking about him, and will we ever see him?
We'll see.
Somebody suggested maybe we'll just see him flying the dragon. We'll never actually see him.
Never actually meet him.
It's crazy. No,
Terrible.
yeah, that redhead wasn't hot enough to be Daron, so.
Okay, I think I have an award that would be a poll. It's going to be the Admiral Akbar It's a Trap award of the week. So Jace was saying that the gullet was a trap. And let's see, there was a couple others.
When Lohar is commanding the men to continue on through the narrow pass, and Tylan says like you're going right into his trap, but right before she's like, yeah, well, how's that armor?
Right, so this is the award is for people calling out the trap, to be clear. So Tylan called out the trap, Jacaerys called out the trap. He wasn't quite right, but he did call out the trap. let's see. No one called it out, but Laurie's set a trap for those people.
Yeah.
And let's see. What other traps did we have?
How about a trap fake out? Because Damon, like, everyone got up, like, they thought they were about to fight. Like, oh, it's a trap. Here comes more Lannisters. But then it was like, oh, no, it's friends. That
was a fake out trap. They are setting a trap at Tumbleton, it seems. And we guessed this from looking at the previews, where you not normally, in the books, take a drink at Tumbleton. Oh, only when Tim says it. No, don't drink. Only when Tim says it.
I'll still take the drink.
You can still take a drink. I just don't want to get my chat too sauced.
I need to have alcohol ready next time.
Come on, Tim. It's late at this night show here. Late show.
It came up with it off the top of my head. Sorry.
Tyler wants to sue for breach of contract. Well, he'll have to find a lawyer under the 40 fathoms. Cause...
Under the sea.
Under the sea.
Patchface will be his lawyer.
What was I saying? Oh, the other trap. At Tumbleton. So Aemon sent the orders, wait there, and he's planning on going there with Vhagar. So they're setting a trap for the other folks. In the books, it's the opposite. Team Black gathers at Tumbleton to stop Ormond and the Hightower army. Instead, the Hightower army has gotten there first, and they're going to hunker down there and try to draw Team Black to them and defeat them that way. So that to me is an interesting change. It probably works with, as we were saying, Hugh the Hammer's wife. She's been sent to Tumbleton for safekeeping, quote, to get away from King's Landing. And so now Hugh is going to be on Team Rhaenyra, who's going to be attacking Tumbleton, the town where his wife is inside of. And that is probably going to set up some conflict. That's all we're going to say. But that's going to be a trap as well.
That'd be crazy if he burns his wife by accident. Like, sees her face, like, knows that it was me, or Vermithor steps on his wife.
Well, he's either in a situation to endanger his wife or to refuse an order or to try to talk them out of their plan of act. So no matter what happens, there's going to be conflict there. Yeah.
That's the fourth trap.
Yeah. So I don't know if this makes a clean vote. I think I just wanted to talk about the traps. Let's leave it. We don't have to make a poll out of it. But yeah, it's a trap. We do have the emoji. If you're a YouTube channel member, Squisher, you get access to the emojis because YouTube wants to be like Twitch. And we obliged. So there is it's a trap emoji there. And let's see. What have we not discussed? I have the feeling like we've hit most of it at this point.
Oh, yeah. I was like, there was one thing in the text message I was going to mention, which was, so Aemon, because Tim said Aemon outright calling himself king instead of just protector of the realm. Well, this is the part where I have to say justice for baby boy Aemon, my baby daddy. No, just kidding. I can't even go with the joke. No, I can't do it. I hate it. But no, justice for Aemon because, I think technically Aegon did abdicate. He told no lies. You ran away from the throne in a time of war, in a time where we need you most. You ran away. And then Aemon is remembering back in season 1, like the circumstances of putting Aegon on the throne. He ran away. He was hiding. Misery was hiding him. And he outright told his brother, I don't want it. I don't want it. So Aemon is 100% right to say he abdicated. And now it's me, baby.
To a point, though, he is also withholding some information. Like, Aegon ran and Larys ran. They ran from you because they know that you were going to kill them.
No. What job, even like if it could be the most mundane office job, if you do a no call, no show, you're fired. Okay? Aegon did a no call, no show.
Well, I was going to agree with what Tim was saying as far as like Aemon basically intimidated his brother out of staying there. And then he's like, oh, he's abdicated the throne. I'll have to be king. So it's like,
Yeah, but your little brother shouldn't be able to bully you this hard.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. If you flee, you're not king anymore. But go ahead, Tim.
That's something we did miss. The Maester. What's the Maester's?
Orwell.
Orwell. Yeah, so it starts with Aemon immediately accusing Orwell because he knows that Orwell's been trying to help Aegon get back to walking. So that's why he immediately suspects him.
Okay,
Like,
so he's right because they escaped in the Raven truck. And where did they get the Raven? Like, that was the Maesters were probably involved in that. Go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, so him pulling out Orwell and, like, where did he go? It's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. You're a traitor to the crown. And he's about to behead him. And then that's when we get the like, no, Larys is gone too. And then that's when you see Aemon, like, connecting the dots in his head. And yeah, for Larys' part, Larys is well aware that Aemon does not like him. So he has just as much to lose as Aegon does. So this is like him saving Aegon is him saving himself.
Bell, again, our resident medieval lawyer, is piping in that is not how abdication works. You're undoubtedly correct. I'm speaking more in the raw sense here as far as, like, the Iron Throne is a warlord's throne. You have to claim it with violence. If you're not ready to inflict massive violence on everyone, then you can't really claim the throne. That's what I mean. But yeah, I'm sure you're correct. You mentioned earlier you were surprised Corlys fought with an arak. The pirate's blade of choice in the West Indies was a cutlass. Could be the arak is the Planetos version of a cutlass. Tim, what's a cutlass look like? Is it a curved sword of some kind? I'm embarrassed to say I don't know that. But I'm assuming from the context that it is.
Yeah. Yeah, same.
Yeah, it's got a slight curve. It kind of looks like a rapier. Yeah, that's definitely pirate.
Shout out Erica. Thank you for the super chat. And of course, I am pro trans rights and all rights. And so I appreciate that. Yeah. And again, I thought the Shirako character was well realized and fun.
Fun, yeah. I said...
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Tim. No, you...
I was going to say, I'm surprised they killed Shirako off, though, right away, because I thought they were going to be combined, for, again, cutting characters and melding characters. I thought that that Shirako was going to... Because the Triarchy's not done, like, just because the Battle of the Gullet's over. So this does open the opportunity for our purple pansexual pirate prince to show up, because he has been mentioned, too. A giant of a man who dyes his beard purple and dresses in women's frocks. Maybe it's just me smoking the hopium, but we might get him. We might still get him.
It seems like the Shirako character was inspired by what was the name?
Recalio Rendoon.
Recalio Rendoon. Yeah, I feel like we're getting our Recalio here.
It's one of the best names. One of the best names in
kind
Song
of
of
is. Yeah, George cooks with the names. A super chat from Emi0243. Did you guys see the How to Train Your Dragon reference with Sheepstealer feeding her rider food? I watched all three How to Train Your Dragon movies, but like several years ago. Is that something they did with the dragon regurgitating
food?
food?
The Night Fury would throw up the fish and give him...
Okay, yeah, that sounds vaguely familiar. There is a whole video to be made about the circular influence of How to Train Your Dragon and A Song of Ice and Fire. It actually flows both ways because Ice and Fire is stretching out so long. But yeah, I do think there is some mutual influence there. It struck me really hard when I finally watched those three movies. Yeah,
isn't it well made for kids movie?
Oh, it's exceptional. It's exceptional storytelling. I was blown away by how good it was. Yeah, it's tremendous.
Yeah. I also said in the text, I said, like, talking about the big Battle of the Gullet, like I said that my heart just fell down to my butt when the bells went off during the Velaryon scene, because it's just another example of, like, we know what's going to happen because of the books, but the show is able to elicit, like, the emotion from us. I'm like, oh no, this is what's coming. Like, what, the cars?
The Cutlass, yeah. These are examples of the Cutlass. Also a classic car, as it turns out. But you can see Pirate. Let's click on Pirate. Oh, okay, there we go. Slightly curved, yes. And also sort of medium length. You'll see they're not too long. That's so they're maneuverable,
Close quarters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick. Yeah, that's a good call. Whoever made that comment, yes. somebody probably said, you know what, a Dothraki Arak is something, it's similar to a cutlass. Yeah, that's good comment.
Yeah.
Good analysis. Appreciate y'all.
But no, I felt such dread, like my stomach, like even like with Jace, like I was just like, no, no, no. So the show really did a good job of giving me the feelings of the book, with eliciting emotion from like this scene. Like, don't do it. I'm like, and yeah.
They were playing with us book readers who like know what's coming, and our sense of dread is just the longer they string it out, you're like, oh God, this is going to be horrible, isn't it? And it sure was.
And I kind of even forgot, like I'm witnessing like this, absent father scene. So I'm thinking about that, and I'm like, oh yeah, they're on a boat. And when I hear the bell, I'm like, oh no, this is happening. Are you ready? It's happening. It's happening.
Yeah. Because to be fair, like having reading the book doesn't really set, because of the amount of changes that have been made. Like reading the book doesn't actually give you a good clue as to what's going to happen. That's like I said, like when Jace finally did die, Mike, I was wondering, like, is it just going to be some nameless crossbowmen, or is that going to turn out to be a cover up for someone who actually did it? And it said, no, it was just some nameless crossbowmen who picked them off at the end.
Yeah, it was kind of very emotional the way like you see him surface from underneath, and he's like, okay, what am I doing? And then it's like there's like 30 people with crossbows, and you're like 20 feet away. So like, just oh shit, 2, 3 arrows, and he just. Somebody else pointed out he went down clinging to some driftwood. Is that a driftwood throne reference, perhaps? Yeah. We'll never see his like again. Rest in peace. I did like that they gave Jason Vermax. Sorry, go ahead, Nettles.
No, you go ahead.
I was just saying they gave him some moments. You could see Jace, pretty skilled dragon rider. Him and Vermax definitely on the same page there. That was cool. But
it is like a way of giving Jace, like, even though Jace isn't a Velaryon by blood because Harwin Strong was his actual father, they do give him a Velaryon death in the water, clinging to the driftwood.
Yeah, it is. It's exactly right. That was a Velaryon funeral at sea of a sort. How did Rhaena think Sheepstealer would know Valyrian commands, and didn't she know to keep her emotions in check? She was raised with dragon riders. Well, I don't know how much keeping your emotions in check there would be in that situation, because you're just screaming, no, Sheepstealer, don't burn my sister. Like, I mean, that's how you'd be reacting, I think. So as far as the Valyrian stuff, it could be that Sheepstealer, well, if you think about it, Sheepstealer came from the Dragonstone hatcheries. I mean, she must have. So it's a question of how long I don't know what Sheepstealer, if Sheepstealer's a he or a she dragon, but it depends on how long Sheepstealer would have been in the keep of the Dragon Keepers to where Rhaena might have some expectation, but I don't see that Rhaena knows anything about Sheepstealer's history. So I think she was just trying what she knew, and it wasn't working. I think that's about as far as it goes, probably.
Yeah, and I'd like to add that she was raised with dragon riders, but not really. We saw that Daemon, who's an amazing rider, hardly ever talked to her. She literally said to her mom, he does not talk to me. So no, he's not like giving her like little side lessons. And then her mom, who was also a really good rider, her mom rode for leisure. We saw her just like joy riding. Like she wasn't she wasn't in wars and stuff like that. So this is very idealized view of dragon riding, where it's like, oh, dragon riding is for fun. Yeah. Like she wasn't raised like, And then with the Valyrian, she also trained like when they were young in the dragon pit, they gave them Valyrian commands. Sorry, what are the dragon handlers called again? Slipping my
dragon
mind.
Keepers.
But yeah, the dragon keepers were showing them, say Lakiri. This is how you feed them. So it's like, so she talks Valyrian to them because that's how she was trained.
Because I mean, like her egg never hatched, so she never had a dragon to bond with, to even train with. And then it's like her parents have dragons. Her sister had a dragon. Maybe she rode passenger on some dragon rides with them. There's a huge difference between sitting in the passenger seat and sitting in the driver's seat. And I said, literally, she's taking a dragon that she just met, a wild dragon, and then taking it into a battle And it's not, and Sheepstealer know what to do. He's burning whatever he sees because he's not differentiating friend from foe. He doesn't know that that's your sister. He barely knows you.
Yeah, and also Lena died when Bela and Reyna were very young, so she didn't really have much of a chance to teach them anything either. So, yeah, it's part of the tragedy of having a parent die early. Like, then you got a single parent, and they do the best they can, but they can't do everything. And Damon's not, he prefers battle to parenting. Let's just say. So, yeah.
Yeah. And it does just seem like the dragon keepers train them, not really their parents. Because we saw Aemon as a boy every day going down the dragon, but he was still in the lessons, even though he didn't have a dragon.
True.
Yeah. True.
And maybe, we'll see Damon and Nettles in the books spend a fair amount of time together going forward here in the near future. So we'll have to see if there's anything similar with Damon maybe teaching Reyna how to train your dragon.
How to train your dragon.
Damon finally becoming a good father and bonding with his daughter, but at the same time covering up her crimes away from his wife.
And we can't rule out father-daughter incest either because they're doing that. Oh.
Here we go.
I really don't think that's what they're going with it, but I had to.
No, they're not. They were too scared to touch even the age gap. So that's why. So it's like
the age gap's not the problem, Nettles.
The incest is the problem. But no. Aside from maybe Aegon the Fourth, that's not been a thing as far as we know.
All right. Let's see here. It looks like we've hit a lot of this, if not all.
Chat, did we forget anything? This was a great episode. I do want to say, even on my channel, I had a series where I would roast. I was trying to roast every single episode of season 2, and I kind of stopped and I did some, but whatever. But to me, season 2 was bad and making me lose hope. But this kind of made up for it. It makes sense, being part of season 2. That's what people were saying, that this was supposed, obviously season 2 ended early, right? It made sense that this was part of it, but then it also kind of makes sense of this being the opener for season 3. Just because, and please, this is how I want the rest of the show to move. If you have an hour, I feel like that hour was well spent. There were no idle moments of we didn't see Rhaenyra huffing and puffing, talking about, oh no, no, it was action, dialogue, well written. So they can do this. So I would give this episode 9.5 out of 10. I'm going there, guys. 9.5 out of 10. Yeah.
I was very happy with episode 2. I think I would give it maybe an 8.5. Tim, what would you go?
7.8 out of 10. Too much water.
Dang.
Too much water.
No, too much water. No, I was making a Hoenn reference. No. I give it an 8.5 just because I am still sour that we're not getting true Nettles, and I'm sour that we're probably not getting the Red Kraken, and we're probably maybe we'll get Recalia Rindoon. I don't know anymore.
We do have green men though, Tim.
I do like that.
It's more than Ice and Fire's ever given us.
I do like that the green men are getting played up. Maybe we will actually see Adam go to the Isle, have a Congress with them. So I'm trying to go into this as blind as possible. I'm not watching videos by anyone who had the screener access, and I'm going to avoid Twitter for the next 8 weeks. So I truly don't know what's going to happen next. So, but I think that's better. It's more authentic that way to just be reacting to it in real time.
Yeah, I'm with you. I try not to be spoiled either. And I definitely try not to get on Twitter. I fail every day at not getting on Twitter.
Yes.
I do think they'll come back to the God's Eye, them going there earlier and bringing in the Green Men at Harrenhal last season. It tells you that this is a plot line they've identified to expand a bit. And I will just say, not to excuse any specific thing, any changes that the show is making, you do have to make choices. So in Fire and Blood, there's a lot of characters that just do a little bit. And there's a lot of little plot lines. And like, it's only natural that you have to take some of them and eliminate them and take others and expand them just to make it more consistent and digestible for the show watcher. So, for example, they took the dragon seeds out of the Battle of the Gullet because basically they were just there and they gained battle experience. And the major ramification is that we start to see signs that Hugh and Ulf are kind of in it for themselves potentially. And we did also get that with Ulf this episode at least. So they still gave us that beat, and they cleared the area so that they could work this whole Sheepstealer, Bela, Jace thing, which I mostly think went pretty well, given the fact that we all missed Nettles. So, yeah, that's why I say 8.5. Like mostly it was pretty good.
Yeah, I guess. Do we want to do a spoiler section for like predictions and stuff?
Sure, we could do that.
Give everyone a warning.
Somebody, my friend Crypt Girl was asking about the Helena Alicent. We briefly mentioned it. We said that Helena is not buying Alicent's lies. We gave Alicent, we put her up again. Yeah, no, she was Liar of the Week. And it does seem that Helena is seeing through that. Yeah, shout out to the people on Twitter that I was arguing with yesterday saying, oh, Helena's been infantilized, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, first of all, not cool to say about somebody that a lot of people see as autism coded. You're basically analyzing her different reactions to emotional situations to say that she has no agency and doesn't care or something, which I disagree with, but whatever. And then here we see, she's actually very perceptive and stands up to people that other people don't stand up to. So
yeah,
I continue to say that Helena is one of the many characters who's far more interesting in the show than the brief, like the 5 sentences that mention Helena in Fire and Blood. But that's just my feeling. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point. She's the only one to stand up to Aemon that we've seen. Aegon can't do it. Alicent can't do it. But Helena looked him in his face and said, I saw it. I saw you burn our brother. That's crazy. Yeah. Even after he denied it, she was like, I saw you.
Yeah. I think Helena's like holding her cards close to her chest right now. I think she knows like more than what she's probably seen some things and it's just letting things on. Except for Aemon. Aemon, she just straight up sold straight to his face. You're going to die.
Well, that was her choosing to show her cards and her having a full house. Like, oh, you didn't think? Yeah, let me show you my cards. I actually know all of this stuff. So it's still a question about what Helena's agenda is, particularly in her involvement with Daemon's dream sequence. I think I need to go watch that again. But like Alys Rivers and the Old Gods, what Helena's intention is exactly is up in the air, because her having all this prophetic vision of the future means that we can't just assume she's either pro Team Green or like anti-violence, so she's against Aemond. Like her motivations are more complex, and we still have yet to see what the show's going to tell us about them. But I very much liked her being the one to like not be swayed by us. Like, oh, you're afraid, you're nervous, you look pretty nervous there. It's like, oh, I'm afraid for our soldiers, and Helene is like, interesting. So, yeah. Did you notice how much more confident and direct she is in that Dreamworld interaction scene from season 2? Helena just has a different kind of agency as a character. Yeah, like I just said, I'd like to go rewatch that in light of this conversation. But yes, she has a different kind of agency. She has different kinds of emotional reactions to things. Like when she saw Daemon chop the guy's head off, the other Velaryon in the throne room, she covers her ears. During Blood and Cheese, she kind of like freezes up. Right? Like these are just different reactions to things that are happening than most people would have, which is why, again, some people identify with her reactions as being similar to, autism reactions or other neurodivergency, which I think is a very valid reading. And I will also remind people that in historical times, in olden times, in days of yore, neurodivergent people were often seen as being closer to the spirit world. This is common in all cultures all around the world, and you make with that what you will, but that's the tradition that they're sort of following here with the character. So I continue to
Yeah.
find Helena very interesting. Sorry, I'm hogging the mic. What do you guys think?
She reminds me of Jojen Reed, show Jojen Reed.
Okay.
Just like kind of marching. His portrayal in the show is like he was kind of like macabre because he was like marching to the beat of his own death. Like everything he saw was like, oh yeah, we're gonna see that, and then we're gonna meet Hodor, like, and then this is gonna happen, and then I'm gonna burn, like, and then I'm gonna die. And it's kind of the same thing with her. It's not that she doesn't have agency. The vibe I'm getting from her is that like I know what's gonna happen, so I'm just kind of like, all right.
Right. She's already grieved some of this stuff potentially. Yeah. The whole thing is going to be different. So I do think like this is a character you should not rush to judgment after every scene. Maybe see how it plays out. Yeah. I like the Jojen comparison. And I think George is very interested in writing about, he's just as interested in the consequences of magic power as the magic power itself. And clearly he loves to write about the prophecy torture chamber that people like Daron the Drunkard and Egg and King Ares and Rhaegar and all these people get put into, as far as like, what does this stuff mean? You're supposed to do something. It's really important. But what is it? I'm going to tell you in a bunch of symbols and foggy vision sequences. Yeah. And it's like, great. So I got to do something. But what? Should I marry a 15-year-old Stark girl? Is that what I should do? Should I conquer Westeros? Should I burn down Summerhall with wildfire? Like, these are all things that Targaryens have tried. Tim, your thoughts?
Yeah, because to Nettles' point, like about Jojen, that seems to be like one of the themes, right, that George is playing with characters like Jojen and Bloodraven, and then Bran being the exception to that, which is, and this is something you see whenever time travel becomes like a part of a story. It becomes the idea like, are events all preordained? Are they inevitable? Or is there a way to break fate? And Jojen, like you said, marching to the beat of his own death, like accepting it as inevitable. And Helena seems like maybe she's accepting things. I've seen them and I know they're going to happen, accepting them as inevitable. But it seems like Bran, and even Bloodraven, to his point, says like, you can't change the future. You can't change the past. I've tried. But then Bran like calls out to his father, and it seems like Ned might have actually heard him across time. So it seems like Bran might be the one who breaks that. And it's like, no, it isn't all preordained. It isn't all set in stone. The ink isn't dry. Like, it is possible to change things. And that's probably going to be a concept that they're going to play with. And that might be the thing that takes Helena for a loop, is if something happens that like changes fate, that changes the things that she believes are preordained.
Whitney Allison, to your point, Tim, Whitney Allison in the chat is pointing out she was making the funeral shroud for her son months ahead of time. I never thought about that. It turned out to be the funeral shroud. I guess it's an open question as to whether or not Helena thought about that as she was making it, but she very well could have. That's a great insight there. Yeah.
Poor thing.
Yep.
Poor thing. We just want to see you ride that dragon, Helena. Metaphorically and physically.
That's really my main complaint, my only Helena complaint at the end of the day. Show us Dreamfire. They need to set up Dreamfire at some point because she does do important stuff. But
yeah, and maybe they're just saving up the blue ink for.
Okay, so let's go ahead and call spoilers all, Fire and Blood spoilers all. We declare shenanigans and spoilers. And if you have any spoilerific thoughts, either one of you guys, go ahead, and then we'll get out of here.
All right, so this is where, because before Nettles had said, like, nobody's really stood up to Aemond except for Helena. And that's where I'm thinking, how are they going to play Aemond and Alys Rivers' relationship when he finally does make it to Harrenhal? And is Alys Rivers going to capitalize on Aemond's mommy issues? Is that the thing that she's going to use?
I don't know. Maybe so, Tim. Maybe so.
So I was, shout out to Gray Area. I was watching Gray Area doing like this pregame show with the ladies of Direwolf City. And one of them dropped this line of like, what's going to happen is Aemon's going to meet Alys Rivers. He's going to eat the Ed pussy, and then he's going to have an Ed epiphany.
No,
and I was
Tim,
like, oh.
Tim.
And I was
You
like,
knew you
okay.
weren't supposed to say that, and you said it anyway. Tim, I'm disappointed in you. I thought you were reformed.
As soon as I heard those two words, I'm like, those have now entered my vocabulary. I am going to use those in the future.
No,
So shout
Tim.
out the gray area. She is the one who said the thing that I couldn't say, and I am just quoting her.
If my stream is demonetized, guess what? I'm not going to blame gray area. I'm going to blame you.
Yeah.
And if for those of you who watched my season preview with Estella, which apparently does not include Grey Waste Tim, Estella pointed out that Alys Rivers from this one preview shot is styling herself a bit more like Alicent and like a highborn lady, with the hair pulled back, with the belly, the waist chain, the dagged sleeves. These are all things that Alicent dresses like. So similar to Melisandre appearing as Ygritte to Jon Snow, just for a quick second, there could be some of that going on here, yes. Tim, you're banned. So disappointed in you. I thought you were reformed, Tim.
I have no predictions. It's just early days, and I'm one of those people, like, I don't really watch the videos where they like map out the first episode is gonna have this, and we're gonna end with this. I'm just like, I'll just wait for it to come out. So I don't know those things yet. So I'll probably make some predictions later on once I've seen more. But like, I'm excited.
I am interested in the angle that maybe what the old gods want is just lots of blood. So the fish feed, the dragon battle over the god's eye, they're just like, give it to me.
That's true. The actions have proven this. Even Alys saying, "Oh, go to Dragonstone." It's like, that's not what the queen said, but okay. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, as I said, there was a lot of foreshadowing this episode. Like we talked about with Ulf. We already see the beginnings of Ulf is like, you're trying to take steps beyond your station there, man. Like already demanding a castle. It's like, you haven't done thing one yet, and you're already making demands.
Ulf's just like, when do I get a castle?
He's dragon drunk. We've seen this a lot. Like there was a scene with Rhaenys. She gets off the dragon and she's like, "My cousin, oh my god!" Like she was like so dragon drunk. And then we saw it with Aemon the first time he rode. He came back and he's just like walking like this, punching kids in the face. It's like, so yeah, he has that. He's like, wait a minute, I do have a dragon. Like I don't need no horse. But
I loved that line from Ulf Nettles. I really did. Like, people respect me because I got a big effing dragon. Like,
yeah,
what are we talking about?
I got respect. I want the things. But I have to go. But please continue to chat. But duty calls. And by duty, I mean Brienne.
You mean your child, Brienne. Okay, cool. Well, we'll say it. We're just going to go a couple more minutes, I guess. But thank you, Nettles. We'll see you next week.
Yay,
round of applause. Happy to have you back, etc., etc. Thanks for your contribution.
Yes. Continue the spoils. I'll be in the comments.
Okay, go ahead. Do your thing.
Bye.
Good night.
So there you go. In case you didn't know, Nettles, young child, named Brienne. So she's literally going to take care of baby Brienne.
Baby Brienne.
Yep. And yeah, any other spoiler thoughts, Tim? What about Tumbleton? They've like we kind of covered it, but basically, in the books, Hugh and Ulf turn their cloak at Tumbleton, basically for venal, self-interested reasons. I like that they've come up with a different reason potentially for Hugh that's fitting with this different character, where they're going to command him to burn the city, and he's going to be like, no, I'm not going to do that. My wife's in there.
Yeah, and that's going to be the thing. Like Ulf, it looks like they're just going to play it straight, right? The way they did with the book. Like we see,
Surely.
That's what it seems like they're saying for him. Hugh's like it is another one of these wild card moments where it's like, I'm not quite sure what they're going to do because of the fact that he has his wife at Tumbleton. Is this going to be like, is something going to happen to her? And that's going to be the thing that makes him like question everything. And then is he going to like just go I guess have like a Kristen Cole type moment and be like, well, what's the point of it all? I did this, like, because his daughter that was sick, like she passed, right?
Yes.
So if he loses his wife, he may just be like, well, now I got nothing. So
it could be that. It could be that they'll give us one other piece of information where Hugh starts to sour on Rhaenyra's rule for some other reason. And then so when he's commanded to attack the town, and this is going to be at the end of the season, so we've got several episodes in between. By that time, he may already be casting side-eye at Rhaenyra and or Daemon. And then when he gets the command to attack the town, he's like, not only am I not going to attack the town, I'm going to turn around and try to kill you guys. Or maybe Ulf turns his cloak first. We'll have to see. But they've certainly created an understandable motivation. So I think it's fine to switch who's inside the walls and who's outside the walls. Like, whatever. You know, it doesn't really matter. Tumbleton's going to get sacked viciously either way. So, yeah. Where is Rhys Ifans? Where is Otto? We don't know. They showed him in the season catch-up video, and I was like, oh, Otto, that's right. He's such a good actor. Where is he? We still don't know.
So, again, shout out to Gray Area. One of their ideas was that maybe that Mysaria might actually be the one who's keeping Otto locked up, because Otto hasn't been keeping up his end of the deal that he made with the White Worm. And I'm like, you know what? That actually works, because Mysaria needs something to do this season.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that, definitely. That makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. And yeah, we're going to try to get Gray Area on one of these weeks. She's not doing a live after show, and she said she was interested in coming on, so we'll try to make that happen one of these weeks here. Me and Gray Area have been talking about going on each other's streams for like 2 years and just never works out. But good to see her back making videos again.
So yeah, we'll just have to wait. Like, time will tell. I'm interested to see what happens. Like I said, I want to know in this aftermath of the Gullet, like where is Little Aegon and Little Viserys? Like, is it going to be a multitude? Like, it seems like it's going to be a multitude of things that are going to make Rhaenyra start to side-eye Rhaena and make Rhaena have to, basically run away and take on the Nettles role, because you ain't going home to that. You're not going home to an angry stepmom when she hears that you took an untrained dragon into a battle, that it burned our own ships, that Jace died, and now your little brothers are missing.
Gray Area said when Otto went missing, it was Grand Theft Auto. That's awesome. So yeah, I don't think we're going to get Baby Stormcloud Ereka, but I do think that Tim is right. We'll find out next week that they got the gay abandon and that they have been taken. We just probably don't need to spend a lot of time actually watching the two little kids. They've been in like one scene. We're not attached to them. So
so that could be the thing. Maybe we won't see Stormcloud's flight, but maybe we will see him like return home, and then this dragon dies. And it's like, I would hope that there's no... I just want to see the little dragon that could, flap, flap, flap my wings. I can make it.
Well, I gave Stormcloud a good shout out in. I'm working on a giant video. It's going to come out probably next week. It's the Encyclopedia Draconica. It's everything we know about every dragon that's ever been mentioned in the series. So it's going to be almost 2 hours, and me and my video editor Camillo have been working on it for a couple weeks now. So that's coming out, and I definitely gave Stormcloud some props. But yeah.
It just, like, because word's going to reach Rhaenyra about what happened, and if it comes directly from the mouth of her own babe after he has this harrowing flight on his little baby dragon and comes back and it has, like, the crossbolt through its neck, and she has to hear from that and then has to ask the question, well, where was your sister? Like, that's the thing I want to see. Because like I said, I've told the story about me losing my little brother, and I'm sticking to that's going to still be factor into that the whole ditching your little brothers to go chase the dragon.
You'll never live it down, Tim.
I'll never. Well, also because it's too good. Because literally chasing the dragon is a euphemism for getting high. So to say you left your brothers behind to literally go chase a dragon, it's too good not to work with.
You should never chase the dragon when you're supposed to be babysitting.
Just tell your parents that you were too busy chasing a dragon, so keep watch over them. They'll understand.
I did like the dragon water drink as like a good analogy for the Valarians. they're sea dragons. They're the sea snake. They are of the salt and sea, but they're caught up with the Targaryens, so that was cool. Dragon water. I have one of my other weekly awards was the Jon Snow I Question the Wisdom of This Political Decision Award. It's just when Jon sent all his friends away. And it's a little bit similarly, like we have Rhaenyra trying to be like, no, don't help me. I'm going to do it myself. And Jace is like, no, don't help me. I'm going to do it. So it is kind of Jon Snow-like, these decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Chased all his friends away, sent them to other castles. Like, no, I'm going to be Lord Commander all by myself. And then I'm going to tell my men tough shit when they don't like my orders and see what happens. So,
chasing the dragon is bad. Okay. Yeah, because I literally do think of like that South Park episode. It's like, you never catch the dragon, right? Well, in this case, yeah, she caught the dragon, but what happens? It doesn't listen to you.
Yeah, well, this is why we do this. I mean, this is why we have the Dragon Keepers, pair bonding the kids with young dragons and training them as they go. I mean, there's a reason why they do all that stuff. So, and shout out to Bold John Roxton. That was the dark-haired guy next to Ormond. If you notice, he had a big sword. That's Orphan Maker on his back there. So we'll get to see him swing that thing at some point. That's all we can say. Just shout out Bold John Roxton. That's Bold John Roxton. That's Orphan Maker. And that's about it. So subscribe to the Grey Waste Tim channel. Subscribe to Girl Nettles channel. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel. You probably are or think you are, but sometimes YouTube changes that. So you can double check. We do appreciate you all coming out. We had an awesome crowd tonight. I'll have a video out in a couple days. And Tim, are you going to be making some produced videos, or are you just doing like what you were already doing?
Oh no, that's my next produced video is going to be about as a follow up to my ET episode. My ET video is going to be about the King in Yellow. I'm going to be branching out and talking about, like I always talk about the King in Yellow. I need to do a definitive, like, why is the King in Yellow so important? Not just to A Song of Ice and Fire, but to media in general. And the reason is because the King in Yellow is like the bridge between Edgar Allan Poe and H.P. Lovecraft. It covers that time gap, and it does still have an effect. Like, there are, and I will be talking about A Song of Ice and Fire, but I'll also be talking about, like, True Detective. I will be making mention of Dark Souls and Bloodborne. I will be making mention of the effect that it had on H.P. Lovecraft and all of that stuff. Like, that story is about 130 years old of the King in Yellow, and he's still having effect on media to this day.
Wow, that's really old. I didn't realize it was that old.
1895. That's when it was first.
That's why he never shows his true face. He's 130.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah, that's like when I asked Nettles if she had made a Nettles video. She was like, "Oh, I have it. Exactly. You need a King in Yellow video." So yeah, subscribe to Tim for that, because that stuff's really great. You can't understand Euron, I feel like, at this point.
Someone said he's hugely. See, everyone's been telling me I need to watch From. Well, if there's King in Yellow stuff in From, then I definitely do need to get on it.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about that one too. I might check that one out. Let's see here. What else was I going to say? Oh, somebody's saying the dragon water is just dragon pee. It's like the water of life from Dune, kind of.
Yeah, it's whatever. What do dwarves drink? Because that's probably what the Ibbenese drink is.
The Ibbenese, don't they have some weird? Oh, I'm thinking of it's the Dothraki that have the fermented mare's milk. I don't know what the Dothraki drink. Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if the Ibbenese have some kind of like fermented goat milk, fermented unicorn milk.
And no, Clark, my channel has grown at a very steady rate. Actually, it's literally just been a slow ramping up over the last 8 or 10 years. So it's not really been. I mean, I'm not doing viral content. I'm doing hour-and-a-half deep dive stuff. So I'm super grateful that there's a lot of people that like to watch that kind of thing, because it allows me to do stuff that I like to do instead of always trying to make 15-minute videos, which is like torture for me. So yeah, I'll take the slow and steady. Slow and steady wins the race. And I do appreciate y'all watching the big Winterfell video and the First Man video. And like I said, my longest video ever is probably going to be this dragon video. Maybe. We'll see. First Man was like an hour and 45 minutes. So, yeah. Anyway. Can I get a link to Tim's channel? It's in the description. Click on his name right in the description. It should appear in blue as a hyperlink. It'll take you right there. You can also search Grey Waste Tim, and it'll come right up. Tim, you wore the hat the whole time. I thought you were going to take it off, buddy.
No, I like it. I also got another one too. I realized too late when we did our Rome stream, I have nothing Roman themed. So along with this one, I also got a second hat. It is designed to look like a Roman centurion helmet that is done in the same knit pattern. So I'll break that out in the future too.
Well, we'll have to look forward to that next week, yeah, or something. Jace wasn't a fan of Dragon Water, yeah. Dude, Vermax it was so sad watching Vermax. They do it as sad as like slowly sinking beneath the water. It's awful. Just awful. Just awful. Yeah. And in the one thing I do in the dragon video is I break down the meaning of their names, like according to George. So Vermax and Vermithor both come from Vermithrax. From, is it Dragonlance or Dragon Slayer? I don't know. I forget all the classic dragon movies. It's one of those. Yeah. Anyways, guys, love y'all. And I'll see you with a produced video. It's Dragon Slayer. There you go. So I will see you with a produced video this week. And of course, back here after every episode with the crew and occasionally a fourth person. So thanks for enduring the pain of House of the Dragon with us. And we'll see you next week.
Good night.